Yeah, I was muted, so you didn't hear me. I was like, do I sound okay? Sorry about that hard cut in the music. I was actually struggling with my headphones to get these in because sometimes when you're tired, they're like hard to get in the correct way. Right. Exactly. That's the answer right there. What shot did I get? Listen, so tonight we're about like having some fun. We're not going to really go crazy with being so serious and stuff. Querious, serious, something like that. But let's bring in Jeff. He's sitting on the sidelines. Let's bring him in. He's just hanging out, and he looked like he just got his shirt on. So let's get him in here. Yo,
I just got dressed.
what's going on?
I'm still trying to figure out as we go through all the stupid problems. You remember that issue I had with my sound?
Yeah.
Still don't have my sound going back in through my OBS meter. And
Yeah.
I was a little low the other night. Everybody kept saying you were loud, but actually I believe I was low, and I've got to figure that out. So I'm working on it.
Yeah, well, now I don't know if you click the button that adjusts.
I did.
Let them adjust it, right? Yeah, because like this way, if someone's a little higher or whatever, they could just take care of. Because they did a pretty good job last time. Thanks, guys, for letting me know that I was talking to myself for a little bit. It's not unusual. It's not unusual.
Can they not really hear you, or was that something from earlier?
No, it was right now when I started, when I came in, and I had the mute button on because sometimes I'll be sitting there and I like to take like a couple deep breaths right before I come in. So I'm like, and like no one needs to hear that.
No, it's a gross sound. Don't worry. It sounds like a monster eating something. It's like,
right. It looked like it just snorted like a pound of bacon.
Oh, it's a good baby troll, that kind of stuff.
So, yeah. So I'm sorry about the late, post because I was actually going to take a day off. I was just like exhausted and I was like, I needed a day off. We got the weekend coming in. And then I had such a good time last night on Ash's stream. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do something not so serious. Let's just come on in. Let's just talk a bit. and see how it goes and go from there. So, Aaron, thanks for stopping in. I was thinking about you the other day. I was like, I wonder if he's going to come by tonight. So, yeah, so you got your first dose and it was okay, not too bad. I heard the second one could be a little bit more tough. That's what a lot of people are saying in general. But yeah,
I spilled my coffee.
you spilt your coffee.
I did. It's all over my stuff.
Oh, you're on mute. Yeah, I was, but I might buy that T-shirt. This one? Oh, you like that one? I liked it. It's all right. Just make sure you, like everything else you buy from Amazon, you get like a shirt size up, because I don't know what it is, but they're like tiny. So I guess this has happened quite a few times because she's a teacher this year, so she's always on these Google Meets, and and everybody's supposed to mute, when they're not talking. And yeah, that's easy to do, as you can just see. Oh, you got your second one, and it was hard on you. Yeah.
I heard the second one's a little rougher.
Yeah,
it's always true or not, but
from everyone I was talking to, which was like neighbors and relatives, especially my wife's grandmother, she was 87, and man, was it really, first of all, she had it, and then she got the shot, and then it was like almost as bad as having it again for her.
Oh, goodness. All right. Oof.
Oh, yeah. What is this saying? You're on mute is from Ecamm. What?
It's a shirt. It's a shirt that says you're on mute.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm a little slow. I just like the way it looked.
Did you just wake up?
Like, is that what that shirt means? I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh,
I think I might buy that shirt. I don't know. Is that what that shirt means?
I don't know.
Stuff in here.
Like the colors, and I was like, hey, that's a kind of a.
I don't use Ecamm. I really feel like I'm out of the loop here. Well, that didn't help because you ought to.
Yeah, I know. I was following my mic. Of course it was.
The autofocus is too good, my friend.
So listen, I didn't tell you this, right? Because you're getting me hooked on the whole Notion thing, right?
I am getting you hooked.
Tell people what that is. So, because I don't even know what to call it. It's like getting my life straightened out or something. It's like going to AA or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, no. Yeah. So we're going all in on the app called Notion. Some of you probably know what it is. I love productivity software. The trick is not to get lost in all the crevices of it and make it such a thing you're not being productive. I've used a lot of them in the past, pretty much everything you can think of up until, even Trello lately. It's great. So if anybody used Notion, let me know your thoughts on it, but I'm all in. I love it. I'm in a crash course on it right now. In fact, I was just working on it 15 minutes before I got on here. So I'm glad things worked.
Yeah. You were all in today, right?
I'm in all in for the last 2 days. I've gone all masterclass on it. And I'm really excited about it. It's a little frustrating at times. I won't lie. There's some threads to get through, some deep pieces, and I have to decide how far to go down. But I'm going to rein it in here after the show, and I'm going to figure out what pieces I need so I can put together our starting puzzle tomorrow. I think Kat did mention Notion. Well, you're going to meet the king right here.
Yeah, I was
going to have it on me. I used to write databases, so this is right on my alley, is relational databases, and that's why I love Notion.
So I was like probably a little overwhelmed of the whole thought of it when he mentioned it to me, but I wasn't against it because the previous week, which is going back 3 weeks now, I was having a discussion with my wife, and she was seeing how I was organizing some of my video and some of my ideas. And she's like, it's a friggin' mess. Like, you need to get a whiteboard. You need to get something so you get your ideas out and put things in some type of order, and then you could change them if it doesn't look right. And so I didn't know what I was going to do yet. And I started with a notebook, and I was just in the notebook, putting things down, helping me try to get a little bit straightened out. And then you mentioned this to me, and I was like, I watched one video on it, and I was like, this is the type of thing that I could see getting me all together. Is that your AC?
No, I think somebody was running something and the beeper went off here. So that's kind of fun. I might have to check on that. Yeah. So, you got kind of not schooled, but kind of what you were kind of like lectured to in a nice way that a spouse can do that. And, she's so right. And there's so many ways to go about this. Now I'm a huge bullet journal, write by hand kind of person. I do love the waking up, getting coffee, getting my journal out and doing some bullet, but there are limits to that, especially when we're getting into what you and I were talking about. And that is creating systems and batches for creating a pathway to content development. And so while the paper and pen, I think is awesome. And I think it's a great organic starting point. I don't think it's a great way to manage this project if you really are seriously
No,
do this.
because the things, right, you can easily just say you need to break up a lot of stuff into separate these, you like to call nuggets, in different areas, be it video, then you have ideas, then you have descriptions of things. So there's so many ways that you can look at this. Really quick though, I just want to say I rarely stream out to Facebook. And tonight is one of the few nights that I'm streaming out to my Facebook page, Coffee Talk and Tech, and to YouTube at the same time. And I don't usually do that, but I wanted to give a little bit of a chance of the people that never come out to YouTube, to see a little bit about what we talk about and what we do. And, I figured on a casual night, it's kind of cool. So if anybody's out there from the Facebook group, come in and say hello, drop a hello in there. And that's fine. If it's the first time you're seeing this and you want to say hello, do so, please. So yeah, so go ahead. You're full in today, 8-10 hours probably.
No, I've been since 7-8 o'clock this morning. I took a little bit of a break and this afternoon, but it's one of those things where first of all, I feel like it wasn't something I wanted to do originally. I have content and other things waiting over here, boxes to open. And, but the problem is if you kind of half-ass your mental state of mind on something like this, I just feel like it's going to take longer. So just go in for a couple of days, immerse, and go all in. And then you'll come out on the other side with some, enough of the nuggets to get started. I've got some stuff we're going to share between each other. So, I'm really looking forward to it. I think this is going to be a lot of fun.
What's Patrick saying here? He's saying, Jeff, I'm almost done creating a simple WordPress plugin to display Notion content on a WordPress site. And you know all about this.
Yeah, and I was going to ask him if is this something he's selling or he's going to give out to free so I can have a copy of it, because definitely I want to check that out. So basically, he's going to allow us to integrate this into WordPress, information. We can output it to the websites. I think it's an awesome idea. And I can imagine that there's going to be some demand for things like that. So very cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
And so I didn't tell you because I was just like, I did it, but like a whim, yesterday I downloaded vMix.
I heard you mention, was that last night you mentioned vMix?
Yeah. Cause I
heard you, I was watching the stream and I heard you're like, oh, and I was vMix. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I downloaded it.
Yeah.
I streamed about 3 minutes, but I don't think I set up anything. I was just like, oh, let me just see if I could stream real quick. And it was a mess a little bit. So there's a lot, to figure out just how to set it all up and everything. But
a little bit of a learning curve, even though you would think it'd be so much like OBS, but there's some different naming rituals and goofiness that I understand. So
yeah. But it's pretty straightforward. It's just like learning. And then I want to spend the time with a couple guys. One of them is Jason that we met from Lita, and I want to talk to him about the A10 Mini with the overlay and how that kind of goes all together. But Brian's here, and I sent Brian a link. So if he wants to jump in with us tonight, that is not a problem.
Brian Paul.
Yeah. So, and we just had someone come in backstage also. And, but I think they're putting fruit and some Pellegrinos out for us first. So I'm going to let them finish up doing that. And then we're going to bring that person on.
Not to get ahead, but Chris on that Filmora, big fan. I mean, I use DaVinci now, but I think Filmora works really well. So just going to answer that question.
There are a lot of people that do. So, yes, there's a mug on it from Amazon. Oh, okay. So that's what he's talking about. My shirt.
He's still on the shirt.
You wearing glasses?
Me?
Yeah. Do you wear glasses? I saw you squinting right there.
Yeah, you're probably going to see me on stream with some glasses at some point. I'm supposed to be wearing.
Okay. So let's bring in the backstage.
I was squinting at the stuff. Yeah, I got readers.
He's not
Hello.
squinting. He just can't see. You can't
Same thing.
see nothing, eh?
I can see fine. I can see fine when I squint.
How's it going, guys?
How you doing? It's good
Good.
stream last night. It was a lot of fun to have all the peeps on. I'm sorry I missed it.
You were there halfway through. You're busy dyeing your hair, right? Is
I
that
was.
it?
I got there, and then I was the only one left in chat by the end. So I literally was like chatting all by myself when you guys were doing your thing. It was kind of funny.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. You old guys, I'm kind of used to it by now.
Yeah. I
Hello, Robert.
What's up,
And
Rob?
by the way, it's not Pellegrino, it's Smirnoff, and probably not recommended after your first dosage of vaccine, but it kind of helps with the pain, you know? Kind of
So
helps with the pain.
you know who's big on Filmora is Daniel Patel. He's huge on it, and it takes a lot to outgrow it. He says, but he says if anyone feels that way about outgrowing it, then you could just move up to Da Vinci, and then he's a big fan of that too.
Yeah,
So-
I think the world of it. I spent a lot of time on it before I went to Da Vinci. And I probably could. You're probably right. I could have just stayed back there, but I wanted to get
Talking
into it.
editing softwares?
Well, we fell into it.
Well, we just
I stumbled back into this groove, and then I saw Jeff into the mix, and you guys were talking about things. So I guess it's going the editing softwares.
all right, Jeff. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Just close quick. All right, open them. Open them.
Yeah.
Hey,
Ow,
no.
how did I just do that?
Usually, when someone tells me that's for like a surprise, like, oh, it's a present.
Surprise! You got a present.
And I got a Brian.
You got a Brian.
That's okay.
Brian, I switched my lens tonight, so now
Now,
I'm just on the regular one.
I think Patrick put this up early, but it says finally the stream is looking a lot better. I think it was for Brian, not Ash.
Oh no, it was totally for me. It was totally for me.
At
definitely.
least now my OCD, we got 4. It was balanced now, so we don't have that odd number up there. That was
Yeah,
kinda-
so
The odd number now looks like that.
It's like the Brady family, like the Brady Bunch starting. Of the
For some
show.
reason, the color just looks so much better with the 15 to 45 millimeter lens on it. And I was like, okay, let's try this out. It looks a little bit nicer quality wise. I don't look as like white, yellow.
It's more
Well,
natural.
yeah, because you're probably overexposed. You probably had to drop it down a little bit, like the 2.0 or something.
I'm on the 2.0 now. No, I'm on that one, this one. But yeah, I was on 2.5.
I like how we have so many nice colors here. We got the green and the red and then the purple.
You got a little yellow. There's a lot of
Yeah,
yeah.
Oh,
it's
if
I
you
saw-
guys
this is
want,
3200 right here.
Nice.
is it? Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. Oh yeah, it's
Found
very
out
nice.
from,
Look at the color scheme.
I found out from last night when Brian talks, you got to make sure you put him up in the big screen because
Oh,
he,
there you go. Just for you guys, if people want to come in and have a seizure,
I'm gonna have a
just look at
seizure.
my lights.
That's
oh, there it goes. It's going nuts.
the dance party.
That's anime
Mm.
cartoon.
Yeah, if things get out of line here we go. When things get out of line, you call the cops. There you go.
Ah,
Hey, CJ.
There's no wrong answers when CJ's in town.
Yeah, this is quite the color scheme. Although I look like I'm in the bat cave with my colors, but that's all right.
Yours are sexier than anybody else's on
Yeah.
here. So
Yeah. I don't know.
yeah, you got kind of
Is
the purple,
anybody
the
ever-
green.
Is anybody ever happy with their like setup and their colors? Like I'm always
No.
miserable about my setup. I can't ever get happy with it.
if I'm shooting somebody else, I can get it perfect. But if I turn it on myself, I can't.
I think it's always like
impossible.
that. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's always
Good.
like that.
Good. As long as it's not just me, I need other people to be miserable, and then I'm happy. So I feel much better.
Really? You need them to be miserable?
I just need that company. It's okay.
Wow.
John's trying to maneuver the swapping back and forth. By the way, if you guys haven't realized.
I know that's why he's not talking because it's 2 things at once. Chewing gum and walking and talking.
Oh, that's
I can
cute.
take a nap and let you guys take over for a little while.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
it's like-
so-
I want to train a monkey to come in here and do the whole stream decky thing.
This-
whatever.
that's what we're calling it, a stream decky thing.
It's yeah.
Did
I don't
you
want
just brand it since
I
last
don't wanna be-
night?
I don't want to be too technical. It's a thing. Stream decky.
Stream Decky thing? Are you going to get the Stream Decky thing?
I am thinking about getting it, but you know what's funny, guys? I just don't see how it's a
Yeah, I know
priority
it's
for me. I don't think it's a priority for me. honestly.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, what would you need it for? Like, what would be the important right now reason for getting the Stream Deck?
So I love that question because we asked that to Patrick one day, and he's like, "Well, I turned the volume up and down on my system," and I was like, "Okay," and it just seemed like a lot of people were using it for like really simple things, and we were like, yeah, well, why do we need that yet? And because even if you switch scenes in OBS, like my scene from when I start and then switch, it's one button.
Right.
So like, why would you need it to do anything else? But listen, when you start having like in vMix or maybe like Ecamm, when you have different overlays and call to actions, that's when I could see it. Like now it's like someone asked you about something and you want something to pop up with a link maybe to what you're, selling or whatever you're talking about, then it's one button. So I could see the logic in that,
I'd want it just to display memes whenever I make a really good point that I could just oh, that'd be perfect for here comes Gene Wilder, and it's like pops up, you lose, and something like that. I'm old, so I mean, nobody probably gets that one, but I know
Gene Wilder.
Am I the youngster here? I'm the only youngster.
You got than all of us.
Well, let me ask you though.
I'm the baby.
Let me ask you though. First, I mean, for me, that makes some sense at least, right? Like that's an entertainment value. John and I were talking about that. So I've got, for my interface, I'm using a simple Go XLR Mini, which is 2.25 or whatever. So it's not too pricey. The Stream Deck 15 is going to push you. Is it 15 or 16? I don't remember. It's going to push you right there. For example, I want to get one. Don't get me wrong, but I mean the reason I would have gotten was like for faders, mute buttons, and they're all here. Like what? Ash, what are you using for your interface? Do you have a Rodecaster like setup? Do you have a?
I have a simple. I plug into my laptop and that's it.
Yeah.
Oh my God! How do you manage? What a
USB.
Story.
I have so I have like USB adapters and all that stuff just to plug in my plugs, and that's it. I just roll with the punches. I am not tech savvy.
She's going to be, you could just see her talking to the 18-year-old kids. I know she thinks she's so young, but wait till she talks to the 16-year-old kid and she's like, I remember the days I had to walk uphill both ways and just plug directly into my USB.
Well, it's better than being operating a Rode, whatever it is, and having my mute shut off when it comes to doing my live streams, right, John?
Eric says he uses the touch portal on a tablet.
Yep.
And I use it to do OBS scenes and show and hide sources. So
I have the touch portal and it does work pretty well.
Yeah. And I downloaded
That's what she said.
I used it, but yeah.
That's what she said. Nice.
Right. But here's the thing. Like, I don't like to, there's certain things that I will spend time on and there's certain things I won't spend time on. So to be honest with you, for me to get, I could easily pick up $100 15 button Stream Deck, and I would rather do that than fuss with anything. That's just me.
I just unplug my wires, and then when I'm done, when I want them, it's 4 lined up with a USB port. Done. I'm not paying Jack. You know what?
Kids, so that's the difference between Eric and myself. So
you want to know what's the difference between you and multiple people, John? When it comes to a live stream, you send it by email instead of just popping it on the YouTube chat. Old school. You're old school. You send it by email. Oh, man.
Everybody getting it.
Of course you do.
No, I have like a certain pick here.
Oh, Mr. Perfect.
I was going to actually if anybody else wanted to come in. But look, this here is supposedly going on my my Facebook channel. And I wonder, because I haven't seen anybody now, is I wonder if the questions are coming in from Facebook. You know what I'm saying? So that
no,
they're not, right? But even
no, I mean nobody knows what you're saying.
Oh, because
I think I'm following.
Supposedly to your personal group, it doesn't come through on Facebook. Okay, but if you stream to a group like that, you're an administrator of, like I have Coffee Talking Tech on Facebook, I should be getting.
Eric's going to go to Facebook and check.
I'm checking right now.
John's doing it right now. You can see him typing. He can't look at the screen and type.
Do it, 'cause if I do that, I'll pull up some music or some weird thing that happen.
Yeah,
I don't want to break things.
It looks like we're live there, but so there, I am live. Yeah, I'm live there, and I'm looking at myself, looking at it right now.
Wait, you're live here and you're live on Facebook?
Yeah, I'm live on both. We're simulcasting right now.
Oh, it's too
A
much
lot of tech.
effort.
We got 4 people simultasking, and we got one who's going straight into a USB with no interface. It's crazy. It's
But how-
we are living on the edge, folks.
Hey, what's going on? You know how to say his name the best. How do you say
Omoteo.
Omoteo.
Omoteo? Omoteo.
Omoteo.
That's it. I just watched his new video and a couple.
Oh, Eric from Facebook. Look, Eric's just everywhere. I mean,
Oh, good.
Yeah, there he is.
Eric,
he
I
probably
appreciate that.
Eric probably.
Hi,
hacked into
Eric
your
from
account.
Facebook.
Yeah, so if anybody's watching from Facebook, come over
Drop
to
it.
the dark side on
Yeah.
YouTube and watch it. And this is kind of what we do. We talk about different stuff. Tonight is more laid back than usual. We usually have some type of topic, but to be honest with you, I was going to chill this week, but then
This is my topic.
do a good time.
I want to stop for 1 second.
Go ahead.
Did anybody else put yourself back up for a second, John?
Oh, you wanted me to, you were going to look at something, right?
Not
Yeah,
his shorts.
What?
Not his shorts.
Anybody else notice those lights behind him? And what
He
he's
pretties
doing?
himself.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely noticed those
Anyway,
lights.
and you notice, but I like it because it's purple. It balances out my purple a little bit, so I kind of like that. But I
Does.
noticed that. You must have had help. Like
I thought I was the gay one here, and yet you guys are talking about the pretty lights. What is happening?
look,
You see when I finish decorating my room.
Do you want my pink can? Well, the pink can goes better for Jeff. It goes better for Jeff.
Places with that comment, I'm not going to go there.
why? Let's just go there.
You want my pink can.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Okay, well, you're just a dirty-minded old man. Then.
No, that-
Yeah,
No, I'm quick-witted.
No, that's what you call it. Okay.
Those
dirty
are- those are
that dirty old man line really stings. Oh,
Yeah, I know. Like, right. Yeah, 2 weeks
Yeah.
ago.
John knows.
Guys are
John.
much
Yeah,
older, and now we're dirty old men.
Yeah, well, two weeks ago I was just warming up to these live streams, and now that you got me cooking here, good luck to you all.
Look
Uh-oh.
at Eric caught on to it
In
right
trouble
away.
now.
He heard it and he was like, "Oh no, you just didn't say that, right?" You remember if John Fulham was here and you said that.
Hmm.
so is John's the only sound that is kind of in and out a little bit? I heard somebody. I saw-
Yeah.
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 Okay,
think
so-
you-
all right.
I think it's just is it canceling itself out or something like that?
It might be.
Is
Yeah.
it?
I think I cut him off. That's why.
Well, yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know what happens because I have a real hard time not cutting people off when I talk. So like I'm
Jump
trying
in.
really hard to not do that. But I don't.
You
Yeah, I
won't
didn't
get-
know
you
what was
won't get
happening.
hurt, Brian, if you don't step on people like I.
I-
Just do it.
It's my natural like state is stepping on people, so I must be made for this.
I have
you
ADHD. I
are.
would do it naturally. Literally, I would do it
Oh
naturally.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
I am
You're just
poster
angry.
child of ADHD. So yeah, I'm
Boom.
with you.
So that's why you have live streams with a couple of drinks, and it helps calm it down or escalates it more.
Just depends. Some uppers or downers depending on where you
Depending
are
on
in the
pick your
day.
magic.
Yeah. So
And I think we all know that Ash doesn't have work tomorrow, so that's why she's a little more safe.
No, I got Moderna injected into my arm, and I decided to relieve the pain. You might as well have a fruity little drink. If anybody else feels me, you can pop that in the chat.
So you had it today? You had the
Yeah.
shot today?
I had my first one. I had Moderna.
Oh,
yeah.
the first one. Okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
My first shot wasn't an issue at all, but my second shot, I felt hungover, and I did not drink.
Yeah, I heard
afterwards.
that. I
So
heard
it's
that
weird.
many people are saying. Somebody was popping into the chat earlier that it kicks butt. It's pretty aggressive.
No, we're gonna switch all night. This is it. When you type straight, then we'll start switching slower.
So
Here, have some of this. There you go.
Oh.
It'll make them feel better with the switching.
I should have brought a drink.
Oh, here you go.
Oh, you're 250.
oh, you got two of them.
Fantastic.
Nice.
Well, I didn't want to go upstairs and go pop more cans, so I can
I
just
like
press
your
mute when I
attitude.
pop it open. The advantage of a Yeti, I just press mute.
You know, you take it one
oh,
more
the Blue
step,
Yeti. That's right.
Ash, take it a step further. You got to get that little college dorm fridge. Put it right down at the bottom left of you.
Oh, sweetheart, you didn't know I had one in the garage?
No, I didn't.
Could I need one underneath my streaming setup? Like
I'm
that
just
sounds
saying, little
perfect.
College dorms bring you right back to.
I used to have one. It's black, and I painted it with like a pink stripe, but it's annoying when I'm working down here, so I threw it in the garage.
How is Eric feeling? Because he was banged up. He had like something with his
Yeah.
colon or something, right?
He had something
Ooh.
going on there.
Oh,
I saw
man.
last I saw. I know he was better, but I saw him in the hospital with the thing. Put up a post, and I'm
Yeah.
like, "Good Lord, this
I
guy."
actually reached out to him, and then he was like, "I go, where you been?" And then he's like, "I'm in the hospital." And all of a sudden, I think he got more attention in the hospital, so he stayed a couple extra days.
Yeah.
That's an expensive attention giver right there. I mean,
8 kids, it's like
a
a
hospital is a narcissist's dream. You know, you
Yeah.
Oh God.
John, can I ask you something? Why on earth did you send the link by email to us individually just to pop it in the damn chat later?
Well, so you guys would have it early. I got to get this stuff out of my mind. You
Well,
know?
you know
a
we're,
message.
you
It
know
was a
we're going to be the
modern-
ones to come
I got
on
it in a
here.
message.
Why you
Yeah,
guys
I know, right?
picky? So anyway,
Oh,
if
man.
you want, right? And maybe the first couple people that use these links that are up there, it says StreamYard.com. You can click on those links. You'll come in backstage, and if you're watching this stream, you're going to want to mute the video you're actually watching when you come backstage, because you'll get 2 of those coming in your ears, and it will drive you nuts. But if you got a set of headphones or anything to wear with a mic, I'll pop you in here and you could say hello if you want. And then when you get really annoying because you probably don't have a good set of headphones or something,
Or you have too many drinks.
we'll
John will kick you out.
I'm so glad that Ash said that. Told us to mute our mics or mute the stream when you came into here. Also, I would have been so confused. I'm like, why in the world is it echoing? So definitely do that.
And
So
CJ, since I'm keeping alert on the chat, it was great to have you yesterday too. It was super fun.
It was fun. Yeah, it was kind of like what was I gonna say? What the hell was I gonna say?
I don't know, man.
That's what happens when you haven't had enough drinks.
well, we were talking about the lights in your background. So is there a story to that?
You're trying to push something here, but we were talking about the sound in the ears.
Oh, right.
I went on StreamYard, right? I got on the show, whatever, on the StreamYard with this guy, with Christian and his co-host or whatever. And so they don't tell you that that's going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm like backstage and I'm like, oh my God, why am I hearing this twice? What's going on? And it like freaked me out. And it took me a little bit time to figure it out. But I think the Blue Yeti is gone.
Oh, you're number one fan?
And then someone else just reappeared.
Hi, Deez. Yes.
Deez, yeah.
Deez, I got a cat. If you want,
I got
Oh,
2 dogs. Deez.
Does anyone have pets? I have a hairless cat.
Oh, John, I wanted to tell you.
Is John a pet?
I saw your there was a video you did on your son's channel. It was a very cute one where you guys were destroying a desk. You two are so cute. I just wanted to say that. I saw that today and he's just adorable. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's awesome. And my wife is actually videotaping that.
I thought so. I was like, it's totally Danielle videotaping it, but it was so cute. It's like, just to be precautious, he like picks up the hammer, pulls it away, and lets him take a whack at it. He makes like the tiniest dent, and good job, keep going.
And he's
Yeah,
like,
super cute.
whoa.
Super cute. He shows up under your channels or something. I was browsing today, and I saw that, and I wanted to let you know you got to keep her there. He's adorable. Very cute.
Awesome. I love him, and we got to get him going on some more videos. Once summer hits and school ends, he's going to do a couple of videos that he's going to do. And I tell him, dude, you're 9 years old. He's going to be 10 next month, right? He's 5 foot tall already. And I tell him, by the time you're 14, you could be making like adult money.
Oh my God, he's
You know what I mean?
You seriously just going right down that route? Rather have fun.
Picture, you'll be a million. Look, 8 years old. Let's get you in camp. You're turning into that guy.
Yeah, having fun went out the window. Just you got to be a millionaire now by the age of 14.
Push through it, son. Push through it.
If you're monetized or you're dead to me.
All right, you guys ready? You ready?
14, you're dead to
Oh
me.
my God, I see this comment. Go ahead, pull it up.
There he is.
Hey.
What's going on, my friends?
First thing I want to say is everybody pull out your digital wallets. Make sure you still have some money in it because it's
None.
I didn't have anything to begin with, though, so you know.
The Blue Yeti's a great mic. Also, my Chinese name. Oh, I'm not learning that out loud.
Oh my God.
Oh, Ding Pao is my friend.
Oh God, we're getting troublemakers in the house today.
Oh yeah, only on John's stream. Oh no, I got troublemakers in mine
a lot
last
of
night
White
too. That was
Claw
fun.
going passed around there.
I don't see OBS the same way now that John called it old BS.
Yes.
Yes.
I love old BS. That's all I call it now.
Yeah. Why am I? You know what? Can you guys maneuver this? I'm like the only lady in the house, and I feel dead center. Please shift me.
No, we got to keep you there.
This feels like a bad dating show. Which gentleman will you choose?
Not one of us are going to get picked.
All of the above. The one, okay, I can't say this. I can't say the one without the pretty beard. Some of you guys got pretty beard, and then I say the ones without hair on the head, and then I'm limited. So yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, but Brian beats everybody.
That beard.
Yeah.
That beard.
He's rocking both.
I want to tell Robert because we could fit 6 people or 8 people. I'm not sure because I paid something for this. We could fit Robert if he wants to get up in here on the stream. It's a party night. Just go hit that link that we put up, Robert. Come on in.
I introduced a party night last night. Now we're partying it up tonight. And exactly, Marlene, that's exactly what happened. It's a full house.
Yeah. Or Aaron.
It's not even fully full yet.
Okay,
Aaron,
so
hit that link and come on in, Aaron, if you want, and say hi.
so I'm gonna ask Mr. J.A. Smith if he likes my lights.
I do like your
Ooh,
lights. I noticed that
sexy.
beautiful, sexy rainbow going by behind you. I like it because it's not too fast, too. I like how you've got it. You probably have speed control on it, right?
Well, those are a little computer thing that I did.
I'm lazy. These are my lights, not plugged in.
I like it. It's not. I like it because it's a little slower and it's got a nice mood to
Yeah, it
it.
reminds me of going to Chuck E. Cheese for lunch.
Hey, I definitely have
So-
light
Wrong with
envy.
you.
All you guys with your LED lights.
Jeff and Eric are going out on a date. Got it.
We are.
He likes showing
I'm
these
buying.
raspberry pies off.
Yeah, that's what I got back there.
Hey, Brian, I want to, but here's the thing. Is anybody else? Brian didn't do anything. He probably turned on a lamp that's got a 60-watt ball behind him, and he looks better than all of us.
Oh
I
yeah,
agree. I agree.
it's
He looks
it's this
so
full
good.
frame sensor, and
Wow.
some high ISOs. Yeah, this is I'm white balance for daylight, and that's just a bulb. So
Yeah.
Well,
but
the bulb is reflecting. It's reflecting.
yeah, right off my head, right
It
there.
makes it look like a small mohawk.
Yeah,
Whatever.
But it looks like a
whatever it's
mohawk.
Doing it looks fantastic. Of course, I would expect that.
Sir.
We need to have you on just to have a discussion about a whole hour of white mirror, white balance.
That is true. That would be a great discussion. Actually,
because I don't think people really, and when I say people, I mean me. I don't think we really understand all the aspects of that and how important that can be.
let's ask
Yeah.
because let's ask him a little bit because I actually have like these gray walls back here.
sure.
I kind of try
That
to
doesn't surprise me.
to get my white balance where I think it kind of should be. I kind of get the gray kind of close looking, and I look at the color of this wooden table at the same time, and I feel like I can get kind of close to being where I should, but I know it's not right unless I truly probably have a card, right?
Well, I mean, like you can white balance off a piece of paper, or the best way I found is a 15% gray card. If you white balance off that, especially with a Canon camera, it's spot on.
Brian, can you just do a 5-second
Uh-oh.
masterclass on what that even means and why you would do that?
So our eyes, think about like the sun when it comes up in the morning and it sets. Like it changes constantly throughout the day. Like when it's in the middle of the day, like bright sun coming down, it's big blue sky. It's like about 6,500 Kelvin, and that's just the temperature of the light. And
Hey,
as it
we're
gets,
saying speak dummy. Don't speak smart. Speak dummy.
I understood, son.
so it's like when the sun sets, it gets red, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
Too dummy-ish. Too dummy-ish.
It is.
find that other thing. Well, for like thousands or hundred, not thousands, that's dumb. Hundreds of years we've had like just incandescent bulbs, and they've had a really warm look to them, but that's what we're normal. That's what's normal to us. And then outside, the color that's of light is completely different. You probably notice this when you go to the hardware store and you look and you can get the cool lights or the warm lights.
Right.
Well, our eyes can adjust to those and be fine, but cameras can't. Cameras don't know what to do with the color. So you have to tell it manually what you want to be white. So most cameras like DSLRs and mirrorless will allow you to take a picture of something white that's supposed to be white, and then you can set the white balance, and then it tells the camera this is what's supposed to be white. If you don't do that, it just kind of guesses, and you can tell even just watching my shot. My screen is blue, and my top light is yellow,
Yellow.
and it's going to keep shifting my skin tones as I go. You really you need to set it so that your skin looks right, and that's really the most important thing. All the rest is just kind of.
You said take a photo, but I mean, what about for video, or is that also for video? I mean,
Well, that's why I say it's actually most cameras that you shoot video on, like that we're talking about, like the 6400 or the 80D and stuff like that. Will either have you set a white balance through video or take a picture of a white card and then set it in the menu. So and then when you get a little bit more advanced, that's the most accurate way to do it. That's the way you should do it. But when you deal with video as much as I do, I can kind of look at the room and the light and say, okay, well, that looks like about 4100 Kelvin.
right.
And I set it manually.
Well,
And
what
then
do my Kelvins are set to.
what do I think yours are set to?
It's hard to tell with the backlighting, right?
Yeah, with the LEDs and everything, or the RGB. I think you're using RGB. It's really hard to say, but so you have, when you're setting white balance, there's two controls. There's orange or red and then blue, so you can move both of those, and then there's also magenta and green. And I can tell by looking at your white balance that you have a little bit more magenta and you need more green to balance out your skin tones. But
His face
What-
explode when you say
what
that.
are you, Brian?
Brian,
Do me.
I am set to because I only have these lights are only set. They only have like a warm and cold temperature. So the Kelvin units, I have it set to right now 4600.
yeah.
So,
Brian, he just looks green because he's sick.
So-
That's a different story.
so yeah, if you have fluorescence, 4100 Kelvin is approximately where it needs to be. And then if you could get like a I can't remember what the tool is called, but like a light meter that would tell you exactly what you need it to be. Or the color temperature of your light, so you can set it manually. But you just do you do a white balance, or do you just dial it in like that?
I just kind of dial it in, and it's actually off a little bit because tonight I actually lowered the lights to not have them so bright, and I turned on a ring light that I usually never use.
Right.
Mhm.
And
so
mixing
that's-
light is so hard too. Like it's if you have 3 different brands of LED, even though they all say daylight, that doesn't mean they're all daylight. Like one could be 5600 and one be closer to 49, and then the other one be all the way up into like 7000. So like just when you're doing lighting and you're gonna mix light, you just got to be really careful with it. And it's setting that manual white balance on your light, even if your light's terrible, has a horrible color shift, you'll still look great. So that's my biggest tip.
Okay.
I like to beam my lights on my face and just look white and yellow as a ghost. Why? Because there's no temperatures on these damn things, and I'm not taking a sheet of paper to figure it out. But I do like the strategy because everybody's said it in the votes in the chat. Brian, you look the best. You're the pretty one in the
No, he
group.
does.
Hold on 1 second. Let's go back. Let's go back to this question before we
Oh
get
no, you're gonna get into taboo. There you go. Now you switch it over. I'm not answering that.
AT2020 XLR, a good all-purpose mic. Plan to use it for singing. Is it good for podcasts as well? So I know a little bit about that mic myself, but I'm not really sure how serious this question is and who this could be possibly. I mean, this name,
Wait a minute. This name's a little bit a little suspicious here.
right? So, but Jeff, are you familiar? I've never had this mic because personally, I did a little review and I did a video on the 2 mics that are right behind me, the 990, right, the MXL,
Right.
and the 120. So I felt like those were better than this mic, and I passed up on this mic.
It's another $99 mic, right? So it kind of fits. I think it is a nice all around mic.
Show the man. Show the man. Get rid of me. Show the man.
Oh,
Thank
who
you.
will she choose? We need to find out.
Yeah.
John, you just lost your job at that.
Yeah, and John, that's why you use the Stream Deck so that you can hit the button and change the scenes.
That's true.
It does have decent low noise. I don't know what the frequency response on it is, but I don't think it's probably any worse than the pod mic. I think it's meant for a little more spoken word, and maybe it would be good on guitars. I don't have any personal experience with it outside of kind of reading on that. So I guess that's a good. I just think it'd be fine an all around mic or that price point to play with. I don't think there's no risk there.
What is it a dynamic mic? What is it?
Yeah, it's
I don't know.
mic. Yeah, it's dynamic.
Pretty much use those for anything, including hammering nails in, right?
You really can't go wrong with it, you know. I don't know. It's
so this mic is in.
I'm sorry. It is. I'm thinking it's a condenser mic. So
yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
So it's in the same category as the AKG, and the thing is that I read about it is you can spend like $100 on that, but I got this AKG 120, which is actually great for vocals and is perfectly fine for spoken word. And I got this for $70. So, I mean, it's kind of like in the same category, but if I'm going to save, $30, then why wouldn't I save $30? And that's the way I look at it. See, now something like that's like that $30. That's like really easy to make sense. But something like the Portal Touch to me, like I would just not have to want to deal with that. And I would just want to get a Stream Deck because I know it can be integrated to more things. And it's just,
I'll give you my
money for that.
My 2 cents on the Touch Portal. And I spent 4 or 5 days kind of going down it just to see. It has so much potential, and I do like to tinker, but I will say this. It is the macros on there a little bit of a little bit of a nightmare. Eric, I think it was Eric who said who's using. It makes sense. Like I do like that, and I kind of like, oh, this is fun, and it was fun for a minute. And then I got like, no, I got stuff to do. So for me, I think that is a great alternative for the price, but I think I'd just prefer to go to the Stream Deck. There's certain pain thresholds. I don't have time for. Notion, give me 3, 4. I love it. I love what I have to deal with. It's going to be worth that return.
Right.
I don't think that's going to be worth.
So for me in Touch Portal, it was a situation where, did I want to spend the money,
right,
to buy a $150, $200 Stream Deck when I could have spent $20, and the simplest way to use it for OBS or something like that, that helped for me. That was great. I had an extra tablet that I had here, a 10-inch tablet. I kept it here, and I used it for some of my streams. And since I do a lot of complicated presentations in OBS, it worked for me. Then I started, using it for things like an everyday. So switching from my Chrome to my Photoshop to my Adobe Rush or anything like that, I was able to do that, and it became a tool for me, which, Stream Deck can do as well. But, this was a $20, invest a little time, or $150 and get the easy, packaged way. So, but it's a great alternative to
spend the time, and that's it. If I'm sure if I kept spending the time with it, I'd be like, oh, nibble. I thought, oh, it's just great, and I would probably stick with that ecosystem. But in the end of the day, I don't know. I mean, right now, I don't need something. I guess that was the thing. I'm like, do I need to spend that time? I already bought an XLR Mini. I can control that. I don't have a complicated setup for presentation at the moment. Right. And then when I thought about it, I'm like, if I'm going to go into there, I'm probably going to cut to the chase and go a Stream Deck.
Yeah. So for me, for my presentations, and you guys have seen my videos, it's all about putting slides and different things in there and bringing in some other stuff. So for me, it made sense to have something that I can use with this hand over here while I'm clicking with this hand over here. So
I'm
just saying they're leaving me with an open line right there. So don't let me talk.
I was gonna go there too, but you do a great job of setting all your stuff up, because I see what you're doing, and it does take a lot of concentration, Eric, to like talk about what you're talking about, right? Set up your buttons to do your presentation, have your music. So I'm very impressed actually of all the stuff that you are doing. You do a great job.
I try.
And with that much stuff, you have to, at that point, set up the assets to where you can get at it. You can't be messing around with subs this, subs that. I don't know how many keys, but you can get a lot of keys with the touch portal. Is kind of cool that way. You can really force on an iPad or whatever. On my Samsung tablet, you could force a lot of keys on screen where you're not limited at all. It's really nice.
So if I'm streaming simple, just doing something very quickly, I actually use it on my cell phone. And when I use it on my cell phone, I have, well, it's not connecting because I don't have it open, but I just use it on my cell phone, and I have it just here.
That's a cell phone?
That's a monster cell
That's
phone.
a giant one.
What are you?
Is that a Note?
It's an S20.
Whoa,
Yeah, those things are massive.
big bucks. That's a good. That's a good phone.
And
Looks
I
cool,
use
though.
it for my camera too, because I use Irium Cam
Yes.
as another one. And I've got 1, 2, 3 cell phones that I use. And that's right now what you guys are seeing is an old Samsung S9 connected through Irium. And I did the white balance.
live
like-
streaming. I'm going to cut out for a minute because apparently there's a live chipmunk in my house.
Oh,
There's a
interesting.
chipmunk.
Oh my God! Please capture it and share it with us. Why
Continue
don't
amongst
you?
yourselves while I go get a live.
So is Jeff drinking or am I?
Yeah, I know.
This is a new one for me. So,
He's gonna be wishing
I'm
he
not
drank
here.
after this.
I think it's
Good luck, Jeff. Good luck.
a full-size chipmunk in a suit. Actually, that's what I think.
So I'm really
Oh.
impressed with the cell phones. I've tried to live stream with using into OBS using cell phones, and there was just a terrible delay. I couldn't get it to work. I don't know what I was doing wrong, but
So one of the things that I'll tell you with Irium Cam, I actually bought the Pro version, okay, which only costs like $4.99 for the year, okay, and I have all of my phones that I have for different camera angles. I have them all directly connected. I don't use the Wi-Fi. When I use Wi-Fi, I get that long delay.
Okay.
And so using the phones connected, and if you guys saw, I've got like USB cords all over the place. You see that there's no delay right now. I'm actually off of a Samsung S9 right now, and I have it set up for a higher resolution that I need. So I've got it set up for 25 something, I forget the resolution.
4K.
So the 4K resolution, it goes up to 8K on the phones.
wow.
But you have that. And when I see that it's not syncing with my audio, I always go into OBS and put a delay, a video delay or an audio delay. A couple microseconds, and that always syncs me up. John actually helped me one time. I look like Godzilla movie. and so yeah, it works very, very well. And again, if you have a typical, even an iPhone or an old iPhone that you have there, you'll get very decent resolution.
Right.
And you can white balance, and you can change color
I think
shifts
the
and all this
resolution's
stuff.
great, but I'm getting lag. Is anybody else getting a bad lag right now?
No, he's spot on for me.
Not getting any lag, but when he was talking about delay with the audio, that is something that's frustrating going through OBS and StreamYard, because I actually go into like DaVinci Resolve, and I think I was talking about this, Brian, with you maybe one time, and I make sure I go frame by frame, do the math, right? And I put in how many milliseconds of a delay I need. And right now I'm like 250 milliseconds. And what's really weird is I can keep that in for a week, whatever it be. Then one day I'll get in somewhere and all of a sudden it will be like all over the place. And then I'll have to go in and do it again. And if I go to Facebook, it's different. If I go to StreamYard, it's different. And it's really frustrating. Like that drives me nuts. But the only way to do that is like to do a check beforehand, go in, do a test, do a check, make sure everything kind of matches up. And if I get like so close where it looks like pretty good, I don't go nuts. But if it is like, 200 and like a quarter of a second, you can notice that pretty bad. So
Yeah, it's really easy to notice lip flap, which is what they elegantly call it in television. If it's more than just a couple frames, like it's pretty easy to notice. I can tell, John, that you are a little off, at least on my screen, but it looked like Eric was spot on. So I don't know what's going on, but yeah, sync is so frustrating, and it's annoying. It's not just like beginning streamers; it's like high-end TV problems.
I gotta ask because I literally just plug in and play. How's my sync going on? 'Cause I don't do nothing.
yeah, so if you plug right into the camera, right? You're plugged into the camera. That's the best way to go.
Yeah.
You have the least chance of having any sync issues, right?
USB direct right there.
Yeah,
John
that's
was
right.
messing with you, but you spot on.
Yeah,
So-
it looks good.
That's all I want to know because I don't do anything except for just plug and play. Now you can go in and switch it back.
So
to
the
somebody
thing is, that's great, right? But then say, I can easily do that, right? But then once you want to incorporate more stuff, and like if you want to have 4 people on a road, the Rodecaster Pro, or you need to you want to have the processing because there's so many good things going on
I
here.
agree.
you want.
But I think it's like for myself, it's unrealistic for myself because I'm amateur with technology. I don't see myself investing $800 in what is it, Podcaster or something like that. I think it's sexy. I think it can do so much, the dynamics of it, but I'm not an investor. So I like you guys talk about this, and I'm happy to sit on the sidelines and just listen to my voice chat.
Right.
And I'm talking with your mom, and your mom's telling me I look great, so I'm happy with that. But it's like to talk about this tech stuff, and in the sense of, would I do that? No, but here's what I am doing. I'm learning more about it to see in the long perspective of if I would do it, because it's like you said, John, it can be a great investment and it can help out when you're doing more things.
Right.
I'm just trying to see if myself, if I ever see myself doing, like, probably for you, it works really well right now because you're streaming on Facebook and YouTube, right?
Well,
With Restream, right? So that does it automatically, or StreamYard, I mean.
StreamYard, yeah. And so I can stream out the 3 places at once. And I usually always just stream to YouTube. And the reason I use the StreamYard is so we can have these discussions, shuffle people around. We could pop the questions up, all those great things. But along the way, at some point, if you start making like some really heavy duty progress with your channel, no matter what, you're going to upgrade. It's just,
I agree on that. I do agree on that.
You don't know what you might get into the next year. But the thing is, the technology is super impressing me. Even like the new Rode software they have with the Wave 3 with those mics, the mic sounds pretty damn decent. And to be able to send your audio to various places by the software and it works great is something that I could see like just about everybody's going to have one next year. I see that happening.
Interesting.
Especially for the price. They're like, oh, I don't want to deal with XLR. I don't want to deal with a Rodecaster Pro. I don't need all that stuff. I just need to have my audio routing to a couple places and I need to sound good. And that's all people care about. It's definitely good enough. So they don't care. And so I think about $160 or $140, it's a home run. It's cheaper than a Blue Yeti.
Yeah, but John, what you're hearing, what I've been seeing in our groups and all the places that we talk about is you've got 3 different. I kind of consider 3 different. You've got the Ash, which is I'm just going to use what I've got. It's good enough for what I'm doing, and they don't want to invest. They want to use the basic stuff, right?
Right.
Like Brian was saying too, using the light, it's simple, right? And then you've got the middle of the road people, which is like, okay, I want to get something that's in the $50 range, something that's going to be good enough to show some things.
Right.
I still don't have a DSLR camera to do any of these streams. And then you get the people that are, call it the gearheads, like you. Okay.
Took the words right out of my mouth, Aaron.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
So you've
I
got
want to say goodbye to CJ really quick. CJ, have a good night. See you later.
Have a good
Sounds
one.
good, CJ. I'll see you on the next one.
So yeah, no, you're absolutely right. But I think that most people, especially Ashley's pretty serious about what she's doing. I think you're going to see that you're going to probably upgrade sooner than you think with a lot of things. And I think I end up falling into certain conditions because I'm a techie and I love the stuff. So I want to mess with it no matter what. And then the other thing is I find really good deals, so when I'm with the Rodecaster around here, I literally paid between $350 to $400 for the Rodecaster.
And that would make me sold. But 800 Canadian, would that make me sold? That's more than my M50. It's hard.
Mirrorless. Okay, so Joseph James, thank you for stopping in. I have never seen you, so I really appreciate you dropping in here and saying hello. So he is asking, I'm confused between buying a mirrorless and a phone. So what are you confused about? What are you going to use with this? Are you just going to do content creation? Are you just starting with content creation? What kind of phone do you have right now would be something that you'd want to ask yourself, because don't just go and buy a brand new phone and spend $1,000 on it. If you have, like Eric would say, like an S8 or, or above, you're going to get very good, decent quality with that phone. And you can start with that. And then if, we were just going through this battle with Jeff and I 2 days ago over cameras, right, Brian?
Yeah.
And we were talking about, if you're talking about mirrorless, I mean, the mirrorless systems are incredible. And the best, cheapest one that you can get right now is definitely the Canon M50 Mark II at $700. And then if you can spend up to $1,000, it is your choice depending on what you're doing, and a Sony A6100 or a 6400. But if I were you, I'd get a 64. But because I don't know how anybody wouldn't want to have S-Log and have that upgradability for $150. So
I would agree. Very good, Greg. Questions
answers
to
your
pop
question
up on.
is- yeah, I would never pass up on the S-Log thing, because I just think that is too big of a deal as you move forward with, expanding what you're doing. And you have to take and choose certain things. Like sometimes it's worth it to spend a little more, and then other times it's not. And there's a lot of variables in between.
So, John, in case he doesn't know, and myself, I'll say it included, I'm not shy. S-Log. What do you mean by that? Let's explain some more.
Do you want
elaboration.
to we could go into a really, really complicated S-Log discussion.
No, simplify.
We gotta be careful here.
That's why I said, for people that don't know,
Right. Let's keep it simple. We're just talking color grading.
So
for
let's
those that might have had a drink or two.
yeah. So
cans.
as I look at what Joseph is saying, he said he's planning on making cinematic music videos. So what I'm gonna say to you is something that kind of counterpoint to John is start with what you have. Okay, so everybody has a phone. Everybody's got a phone. If you've got a modern phone, be it an Android or an iPhone, any of the modern phones have even 4K cameras. And with a good software that you use for editing your videos, you can make a phone capture amazing looking. Amazing looking. I mean, if you go with a DaVinci Resolve, which is a free open source software, it's professional grade. If you have a little bit of money, use Adobe Rush, which is what I use for my videos to build my content. I use Adobe Rush that can be then later on exported to Premiere Pro. Okay, so that's one way to do it. But don't let fear of gear get you.
I think we're having trouble focusing when Jeff comes in with the chickmunk. Jeff, please explain.
Yeah,
Yes, please.
we need to hear about this
So,
chipmunk. But Eric, you were spot on, though. I totally agree with you.
First, let's get back to him. Let's put this back up a really quick again. So I agree with everything Eric is saying. And I think that what you need to do is start practicing with your camera. Okay. And then from there, take that camera footage that you're practicing with. And if you don't know how to edit yet, you're going to spend 5 times more time learning how to edit an equal amount of time technique with the camera. But the editing is a progress of workflow, and you're going to have to learn to put that together so it really helps you really step it up. So don't ever think that you need to, go out and buy the camera really quick before you even figure out how that workflow works. But let's see what he's saying here also. He is saying M50 is something I thought of too, but I don't know if I can get the results with a good phone. I'm already making content with my old phone. It's a bad camera, but I need to upgrade soon.
I was the same thing. Like I started with my Google Pixel. I bought it just because I needed a new phone, and then I still wasn't happy, and that's when I got the M50. So I can relate to, and yet I can get great footage from the Google Pixel, but I was like, no, I still had that. I just want the camera. I get it.
You need to learn how to use the tool you have the best you can, and there's a lot of things you can do with a phone. Get an app that allows you to set your controls manually, so you can learn about the trio of things you have to about cinematography, like the shutter, aperture, and ISO. Just know how those all like interact with each other. So
you know where I learned ISO the best, and keep in mind up until
I learned it from YouTube.
Yeah, but you're missing what he's saying here. You're missing.
I never even had the A5100 till the end of February. I was using $19 Jellycomb HD cameras. I bought 3 of them because I wanted to see, and I needed 3 different looks with my hands and feet because of drumming. But I got to tell you, I learned a lot about what ISO is just going through and playing with that. Of course, it's terrible in a webcam in a way, but then I got some cheap, really $30 little lights and put them up, and I'm like, oh my goodness, even these little HD webcams can look pretty good.
But here's the thing.
Have the right light, and you can do what you need to do. So, he wants
to make a decision though, and we're not saying he wants to make a decision if he should buy another camera, a camera, or upgrade his cell phone. And to me, I think at that point, I wouldn't spend the money on another cell phone if I have a cell phone already.
I say it depends which one he wants more. Like, are you looking to use a cell phone for like just content, or you really badly need a phone?
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Because he has an old phone already that he's using, so he has a phone, right?
But is it just the camera you're going for?
But does he need to upgrade the phone because he needs the other things that, like maybe the battery life sucks? Is it going to suffer through bad battery life and get an M50?
Gone. I agree.
It comes down to how much money you're willing to spend. So if you're going to spend $500 on a new phone and $700 on an M50,
500. Mine was 1,500 Canadian.
Yeah, it's going to be at least 800 to 1,000.
At least mine. I don't even know how much my phone costs.
This was $350.
Yeah, but I'm an employee, so I got it for super, super cheap. But anyways, it's still a $1,500 phone, depending. Joseph, are you in the U.S. or are you in Canada? Let's figure that part out.
I would say for him, I honestly, if you can afford $700 versus, I don't know what you're going to spend on what type of phone you're going to get, because this cost me $350. So am I going to spend $700 or $350 brand new on a phone? I don't know.
Okay. So studying film. So which would put my skills to best use, a phone or a camera?
Okay,
Well,
so
check your skills, but
Yeah, he put something else up on there.
He put something else. I would say, based on that, my recommendation to you, Joseph, is that you buy a camera. Because you're already studying film.
Agreed.
You already know the triad, you already know editing, and you're studying cinematography, I would say go for the camera right now. It's going to help you in your studies and all the different things.
And
And I agree. Yeah,
the M50 is probably a great way to go. The M50 would probably be a great way to go.
I agree too. I
Oh,
agree too. My skills, he wants to put skills to the use. He's already got knowledge in it. Go for the M50.
Yeah.
I agree.
Right. So Jeff and I had this discussion, and I think it all goes down to how much money you have, what kind of tech savvy are you, and so the two cameras that I say that you should go look at if you're going to spend under $1,000, and this is easy because we just went through this, is the Canon M50 Mark II at USA money would cost you $700 with the kit lens.
You're
And-
cute, John.
And then if you go $1,000 for an A6400 with a kit lens, that's $1,000.
And links are in the description, right?
Yeah.
I- I-
Don't
The
forget.
moderators are putting that in there right now.
If you're not streaming, you could get by with an old DSLR. Honestly, depends on how old you get. But you were mentioning, John, that there are some decent DSLRs that shoot, like Canons that shoot great 1080p video.
Well, again, right? We don't know how much money he can spend, but you can get a
What's that, like SL1 or what's that thing called? The
SL2 was what I would go the least for.
I think we should take this guy out on a date before we start asking him all these questions.
I don't
We're
want-
getting deep.
The family, who's going to grill them?
Someone to go spend. I just sold, put it this way, okay? I just sold a 2010 Nikon D5100 with 3 lenses and extra batteries, a bag, everything for like $300, okay? So say you find you're going to spend $300 on something used, but if you can get that M50 for $700, it is more than 2 times better. Like the autofocus, the 1080p, the streaming capability, the touch screen, the articulating screen, like there's so much going on for it that it's the Digitex 8 processor in it. There's just if you can spend the 700 and that's not over the top, I would really strive for it because it's a hell of a camera.
I bought used. Are there 50s out there that are used that are worth grabbing, you think?
Well, if you're not going to stream and that, but if you have any inkling you're going to stream, then I would get the Mark II, but you can pick up USA, money again.
Oh my God.
You can start picking up these M50s for $450 right now. I've seen them.
Hey, John, I'm not a very smart man. What does articulating mean?
It means that you swivel at the hips.
It's basically any direction.
No, but like that flip screen just doesn't flip up
Side.
like on the Sony.
It's a side screen. It can
goes
flip
out-
forward so you can see yourself too.
You know when I said I couldn't pick between you guys? I just picked Eric because of those dance moves, just so you know.
You're like,
Nice.
Well, he's got an advantage.
I don't want to tell you, but I was the best dancer.
Oh, so you just stop.
They're just jealous because I'm Puerto Rican and I dance salsa.
There
Okay.
you
Oh no, I'm
always
not jealous.
throw that Puerto
I'm
Rican in my
I'm
face.
for you, Mr. Puerto Rican. Keep going.
I'm Puerto Rican from the waist down.
Oh my gosh. Gone. Can I remove
Man.
him from his own stream?
Man, his own screen.
Another new face here. This is Gordon. He says hello.
Hey, Gordon.
So that's 2 new faces I saw tonight coming in and just checking out the stream. So that's really awesome.
Gordon has a question in the chat too. Does anybody know how to fix prolapse?
So first of all, I just want to know where these new people are coming from.
I have no idea.
Where are you from, and how did you find us by any ways? That would be awesome also to let me know. So how do
Live
you
streamers drinking.
prolapse?
YouTube's finally caught on to your content here, sending invitations.
Yeah, there you go.
Onto me, they're like, someone knows this stuff. So I don't know what he's talking about prolapse, because if I talk about prolapse, that sounds like I need to go have surgery like Eric just had.
Isn't prolapse like
When
like
something
an app?
collapses, something
No, I think it's
collapses.
I think it's an app. Isn't it like a time lapse app?
I was going to say something with time lapsing, right? But I'm not really sure, to be honest with you.
I don't either. I don't really know.
Well,
Gordon, you want to be a bit more
it
defined
was
in what you
never,
mean
it
by
was never
prolapse?
good when we had llamas. Prolapse, since it was during pregnancy, was never good.
Right.
Aye,
Oh.
aye.
Never got out. So.
Well, I'm thinking when I think prolapse, I think about parts of bodies that aren't supposed to be falling down. That's what I think.
Well, that's
Wow.
kind-ish. Yeah.
Can we
Wow.
get more llama tips from Jeff? Because I really like to. I'd like to hear more.
I have tons.
How far does the llama split?
How
Eric
far?
agrees with me. He thinks that
Oh.
prolapse mean body parts, right, Eric?
I just
see?
did a search. I couldn't find anything on prolapse other than medical.
So
Yeah.
Jeff and Jane,
Clearly medical. That's why I'm
Joseph, where are you located?
Joseph James, where am I from? Yeah, we were just asking like where are you abouts from, and he said that the M50 M2 cost him $820. Right, so that's what it's going to cost, about approximately. And
Can't you get the Mark One for a significant difference? I know it doesn't have the autofocus in 4K, but are there any other big differences, John?
well, neither of them have the autofocus in 4K.
Oh, neither of them do. Okay.
It's horrendous, and but the no, the difference is only like $100 right now if you buy.
Oh, so it's not a big
new
deal.
one. So to me, it's like a no-brainer. And if I was going to buy like the original M50, then I would try to find someone like me that takes care of their crap. And you could see that because if someone has that
Me?
camera for a year or two, it's going to look freaking brand new. And just make sure it looks fantastic.
I have the
Take it
original
care of.
M50.
And put that. I have to mute Ash soon almost.
I'm bouncing in a bit. Don't worry. I got a night to go enjoy beyond this.
But if you pick it up, so for that cost, then it's a steal. So he's coming from the M1 costs $750. Okay, so look at that difference.
Super cool.
I think in India it just got released. If I'm not surprised, the M2, the Mark II, I think just got released recently there. So, and I would absolutely go for the Mark II at that point.
Okay, so I always look at this website all the time. Canon Refurb.
Yeah,
Okay? Canon Refurb. You can get an M50 body for $459.
Oh, that's
right.
nice.
Is it available right now? Because they sell out fast.
Yeah, it's
Look
sold
underneath
out.
and see if it's available.
The white body is in stock.
Right. And so, but then that's if you just want to get it with just that. I mean, you have to get a lens, and I don't know what you would get for a lens. You know, the most cost effective one is the kit lens.
So the kit, so there's another one. Is this refurbished M50 with a 1545 and a 55-200 for $699, and
That's not bad.
If your goal really is to make music videos, you really could look at something like the Panasonic GH4 or even GH3, and you'd be able to make like hella good music videos out of that. I don't think it's a great streaming camera, but it allow you to it'd be great for a first camera, especially if you're going to be behind the lens and not in front of it, so you don't really need good autofocus.
Yeah, because you're definitely not going to get it with that piece of garbage.
Just before
But
you
it's got
guys go
beautiful
on,
colors.
I'm gonna say that I'm gonna bounce here. I'm
I'm only
Yeah.
busting your chops, but the truth of the matter is, right? Most of these.
busting chops. I'm trying to say I'm bouncing, and then he just
Ash
keeps
is gotta
going.
go.
I'm going.
Ash has
Okay,
got to
so-
go.
I hate to
You're
bust
going
your
right-
chops, bro, but
You're
I'm out.
right now.
Ash
You're
still
going
needs
out.
to choose which
Yeah,
one of
I
the men she's choosing.
Yeah. It's already been decided. It's Eric on
Good choice.
dinner's on the way. I got that from Jeff. Thanks, Jeff. And yeah, I'm gonna bounce here, guys. I have more things that I have to do tonight too.
All
so,
right. Thanks for stopping in. We'll talk to
Of
you.
course. Enjoy. Have fun with your
Take
camera talk.
You
All
know,
right, bye.
we will not probably.
So I just want to go and say what he was going to say, and I'm kind of like just busting your chops, but you're exactly spot on. The autofocus is horrendous, but what do most filmmakers, right? They're usually the Black Magics, all that. If he's really truly going to film school, right? Everything is manual focus, everything.
Mhm.
So I understand what you're saying, and I agree 100% because I think if you go even to the GH4. But I know for a fact the 5, the 4K is outstanding in that. The color and in the picture and the 4K looks fantastic. But right, there is no autofocus that you have there.
Yeah, it's pretty terrible autofocus. But like I said, if you're making music videos and you're not playing in the band, it's no reason not to look at some of these other options that don't have good autofocus.
Sammy wants to join in. Go hit that link, Sammy.
And-
Oh yeah, come on, Sammy.
You know,
Come
there's
on.
some truth bombs here too, in that if you really don't have the money, then the way to go is to say, I got to get the best of what I can get and learn from what I don't have. So that may be your
Yeah.
best teaching to a moment here is you're not going to have the best, but you're going to learn what to do without the best. And that'll help you get to the camera you want. So if you really don't have the money to spend, I say find something used, get the best you can, and just say, hey, I'm going to learn from this, and it's a short term.
I think actually Brian's pretty spot on with what he said, though, because everybody knows, that they're going to teach him techniques that aren't going to be involved with, autofocus, right? And he's going to have to learn a certain way like that. So I don't know what they go for, but if I had to take a wild guess, a GH4 used, he might be able to pick one up for $400.
So there's one on KEH right now for $560, and then Best Buy has the G7, which is a brand new for like $600.
Yeah.
That's another Micro Four Thirds. It's very similar to that same system.
That's starting to squeeze down to something reasonable and something useful for what you want to learn. Clearly, when you want to do great things, you're going to want something so much better anyway. So why try to go middle of the road where you really can't afford what you want anyway? Learn on what you can get. Put your new skills to use, and there you go.
Yeah.
Find a GH4 5. I think the 5 would be a really nice upgrade because you're talking on websites. If he could pick it up used from somebody, it will be cheaper.
Definitely.
I think that or a Canon regular M50 would be definitely darn good for you, and then you're going to learn those techniques with autofocus or not, and at least you'll have it.
Yeah.
If you just want best bang for your buck and you really have a desire to be a filmmaker, you should look at the Blackmagic Pocket 6K Pro that just came out. It's got built-in ND filters. It takes Canon lenses, Canon EF lenses, shoots 6K raw straight into SD cards, or you can stick an SSD on it and record all day on it. It's like $2,500, and really you're talking like red category of image quality and usability for basically what you'd pay for a really nice mirrorless camera.
And I would differ from him because I would go with the 4K because I think that's really your bang for your buck. There's no need for the 6K, and you're going to pick up a used 4K. I've seen them as low as $1,200.
Yeah, and any of these Blackmagics can work with the ATEMs, which is kind of nice. So you can sit back on your control surface and you can tweak the color and everything as it goes. But the reason I'd pay more money for the Pro than to get to the 4K is just the size of the sensor. It's a Super 35 sensor, and
Gotcha.
And so that's the biggest difference. The 4K is a Micro Four Thirds, and there's nothing wrong with Micro Four Thirds, but to me, it's worth the extra money, and it's the only one that has built-in ND filters. And if you're a filmmaker, you'll realize how important built-in ND filters are. Because if you have if you don't have it, you're gonna have to get a set of them. Because if you want to be able to expose your shutter at the right angle and also open up your aperture to get nice blurry stuff like this, you're gonna need those ND filters outside, or else you're gonna be stuck at f6 all the time.
And those caps are like a couple $100, aren't they? I mean, they're not cheap.
Yeah. Well, and ND filters typically cheap ones will give you distortions on the image and coloration. So I mean, you can't really you can't go cheap on them. And if you have to buy a set for every size lens you have, it just becomes a huge pain in the butt.
The problem with all this is so much like musicians. We are the last people that can afford the great equipment that we really want and need to do what we do. This is like the absolute worst imbalance of what we can get for assets versus what we were trying to do. But yet, as a musician, I'm just going to say it out here too. I would tell a drummer who can't afford it, then don't buy a $3,000 DW kit. You go get a $300 used thing, and you make that sound good, like Steve Gadd or something. Because it is so often you find out again what really is working. Is it your technique that is the problem? It is your approach to not making that thing sound good in the end, or is it the tool itself? And sometimes you can't learn that on something that's too good for what you
Right.
for what you're trying to do. I hate to say it, but it's true.
So-
99% of the time it's user error, like for cinematographers anyways.
I agree. Yeah.
He's saying the GH4 is 7 years old, right? He wants to be relevant for the next 4 years. Listen, you can't have the best of both worlds. I can tell you that. We can go all day about this, but if you're looking for a pretty relevant camera for today's standards, you're not going to get anything cheaper than the Canon Mark II M50, or it's going to cost more, but it's going to give you more, and it's going to have its give and takes, and it's going to be the 6100, or the 6400. There's no other cameras that are going to be any cheaper, that are going to be any more decent than that. And that's the honest
And
truth.
I can appreciate the 4-year comment, but
Right.
at that age, you're going to find out your life is going to change immensely in 24 months, much less 4 years. So you just don't know what's going to happen and how things are going to set yourself up a little bit
So
differently.
your life is going to change right now.
There are literally cameras being developed right now. They're going to make everything that we have obsolete. Like it's happening. Like the new GH6 was just announced. It's going to come out in the fall, and you got to. When that comes out, it's going to make the GH5 obsolete. So is it going to be relevant in 4 years? Hell no.
right.
Nothing's going to be. Like, nothing that we own right now is going to be relevant in 4 years.
Well, 4 years is a stretch, but listen, here's the truth. I mean, there's going to be people shooting in 4 years on 1080p, and it's still going to look fine. And 50% of the people are going to be watching it still, and it's not going to be that big of a deal. I mean, but he wants something that's impossible, and he'll find that out. That is kind of impossible as he goes forward. But let's say hi to Sammy.
What's up, Sammy?
Hello.
It was good to see you.
Nice to see you.
How you doing?
Not
Yeah.
Lita. No,
Not Lita. Hey, tell us about that thing you were doing outside, man, with your Mac Mini. That looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I have a little setup that is able to go off of battery power. So I can like stream in 4K and different stuff, and I can run OBS, Ecamm, whatever I want. The only problem that I have is you need to get like a hotspot, because I by mistake had my Wi-Fi on, so it killed the stream. But if I used my hotspot, it wouldn't. But it works.
Okay,
So-
cool.
So yeah, it's like living and learning. You're figuring it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I want to know, Sam, who cuts the lawn?
Serious.
The
Laid down
grass looks really green and well taken care of. So I think you're doing a pretty good job there. You're getting a lot of rain, especially last night we did, right?
Yeah. It's the gardeners.
Nice.
So
Well, Sammy, one of the things that I was going to tell you, which I'm doing a video on right now, is all the M1 chips. So anybody that uses Mac machines,
Yeah.
and also right now, there's been a lot of security patches that have come out right now. We just investigated in today a couple of penetrations of M1 chips. Okay, the
Yeah.
M1 chip is flawed right now. Okay, it's at the chip level, so there's not going to be a patch to that. So
It's not
please,
flawed, they built it that way.
they built it with a actual flaw, but
ooh,
if you upgrade to 11.4, I got it here, to 11.4 on the Big Sur operating system, if you got any devices that are Apple right now, there's a ton full of patches out there. Yeah, I almost said it. Yes, I saw you, Jeff. That's why I stopped, because I saw Jeff go.
No one said
So-
that on the show.
a shed full of patches
okay.
out there
They,
for Macs and iPhones, and if you have tags at anything that is Apple right now, they just released this week a shed full of patches. So take all of those, and please let all your friends know if they got Apple products.
But Eric,
Yeah.
Eric, Apple doesn't get hacked. They
really quick,
They
though.
do, but it's harder. That's the thing.
No.
It's just
No,
different,
no,
right? Like
no.
there's less
No.
Mac users, so it doesn't make as much sense for a hacker to make
it's about
something
supply.
for a Mac.
Not anymore.
Not anymore, though.
Sure.
Not anymore.
It
So
used to be
anyway,
that way,
really
though.
quick, I want to address some of the people here in the comments. We got comments coming
Yes.
up, but I just want to catch up a little bit here.
Please do.
So Joseph thanks us for answering his
Great
question
question.
recently, so that was nice. And then Aaron says here that his next camera is probably going to be a 6400, maybe
Me too,
next
my friend.
year or something, which I think is a great camera.
Yes.
I don't think you can go wrong with that.
Mhm.
Your videos look very good at this point at 1080. I think most people don't realize that it looks that good. And look at this. Thank you so much. I appreciate
Nice. That's
that.
lovely.
And come back again and see us on the next stream. So anyway, really quick, I just want to say this really quick because I've been following and building computers for over 25 years. Okay. Every time a new platform comes out or they go to 14 nanosecond, chips or this or that, first of all, they build backdoors in on purpose. Okay. And then when they get hacked and they find out that those backdoors get found out, then that's when they put the patches in. Okay. So this has been going on for decades and they know what they're doing. And if you don't think that, and listen, by saying this stuff even, and Eric will probably vouch for this, it's like all of a sudden the internet's ears perks up. But the thing is, everything in our house is being listened to, especially if you're not doing the things that Eric talks about all the time. Okay. And even if you silence those things, you can find those things are being talked about all the time on your phone. And it's not magic. It's everything's being listened to. And if you don't want your things being listened to and you got some serious important stuff, and I'm not joking, put your phone in the microwave and they cannot go through that. And I'm talking, if you're talking about serious stuff, like if you're talking about cash, money, anything, if you don't think that you can get hacked, I know personal people that have been hacked and has had hundreds of thousands of dollars stolen from their bank accounts.
Yep. And I've worked, as you guys know, I've worked some of the big hacks that you've seen on TV. I will tell you guys right now that some of these things are device. Most times it's people not patching their devices and not doing the basic things that they need to do to just keep their stuff up to date. Because every time they release things, they patch all these holes, and it's just basic hygiene is what I tell people.
People have gotten really careless and lazy with it. You just see it more. It seems like it's gotten worse. We see it with e-commerce websites, WordPress. People are so lazy about getting their plugins updated and things like that. And then they turn around and go, why did all the sales stuff get ripped out of my?
Exactly.
Well, you've got plugins that are like a year old and they're patching those every 3 weeks usually. So,
well, the biggest hack in the world right now, which was the Experian hack that basically 150,000 Americans information was out there, was because they didn't patch a website patch that they needed to patch that was a year and a half old.
Yeah. It's usually something. It's
It was
usually
1.5 million people.
Huh?
Wasn't it 1.5 million people?
150 million Americans.
Yeah, you said 150,000. That's what I was.
Oh, sorry, 150. Half the American population.
There you go. So we were both wrong.
it's
It was
about
bigger
all the
than we thought. So just to get that correct, he said 150 million people.
yeah.
Okay.
So this is all really important. But Eric, do I really need to unplug my Alexa and put it in the microwave whenever I'm talking about my money?
No, you do. That's okay. So security people were overly paranoid. Okay. Alexa,
Depends
all the Alexas have a button, the microphone button in the back. Alexa, Google Home, any of these devices are on always listening mode. As a matter of fact, if you have a Google phone, it's always listening, unless you put the block. Your iPhones, for your, it's always listening for that keyword. It's always listening for the okay Google, or I don't want to say it, but it's always listening. And we had a case that we worked roughly about 2 years ago, where a murder was recorded on an Alexa.
Oh, wow.
That's right.
Okay. You guys can look at that. And the police department was trying to get the recording from Google, but it records like 15 seconds before the actual content, but it's always listening. So what I always do, and I have my Google Home over there, I have it always muted. I always have it muted, and when I need to use it, I walk over, and which kind of defeats the purpose. But I unmute it and then use it for whatever I need to do. So I keep my devices. I also turn the microphone off on my phone for Google and the app resource
Also,
permissions. So yes, you do have to do that.
I'm going to ask you something, and you answer this honestly. Okay. All that stuff works fine and dandy when no one's breaking the law on the other side. How does it work if they're not? Because we know that it's actually been factual that people in these companies have already broken those laws, and they were listening in on people's Alexas at home. They were listening on people's TVs and etc. And that happened last year? 500 households.
Rogue internal employees.
So we call that internal threat. Okay, we actually have a term for it. That's internal threat. Okay, so you have employees that you trust and love and have all around you. You can't control that. But now what's happening, and you're going to start hearing it with the Capitol pipeline things that just happened today. The Congress gave new regulations for critical infrastructure. But what you're going to start hearing in the industry is a concept called zero trust. Okay?
Yeah, that's what I have already.
Yeah. Zero trust. Okay? That means what's that?
I was going to say I have that already, because when people come to my house, they're like, how do you not have Alexa? How do you not have these dots all over and this and that? And honestly, I'm going to tell you, I don't trust that stuff. And I have I don't know if you about this, Eric, but these big companies, they are probably 10 to 20 times more powerful than people give them granted for. And
I don't know, John. I just learned that if I'm getting murdered, I need to order groceries.
Am I getting serious?
Like bananas and a crowbar and a 9mm.
Order some food.
Alexa, give me potatoes. Put it on potatoes.
Jack online right now. We got a murder.
Right here. Let's go back to this quick.
I'm sorry for derailing. I just that's what I was thinking.
Tell me what you think. I was looking at used cameras. You found the G7 with 2 lenses, 24 and a 50 for $500. Good deal. I think it's close to a good deal.
So you got to remember that the G7 is a Micro Four Third. So a 24 is a 50 normal, and a 50 is going to be 100 millimeters. And so that's really telephoto. You need to get a wide lens so that you can shoot.
But guys, 24 and 50 with a G7 for $500, that's a steal.
No, it's not, though, because he's not going to have any lenses, and I don't like the lens choices that you're going to be able to get with those kind of things. And I honestly, if I were him, I'd stop driving yourself crazy. And if you got to save that much money, then go buy the Canon M50 Mark II. That's honestly what I think. But
I mean, at $500, you're pushing a new one. Almost. Right. I mean, so I would have to agree with John at that price point. If you're willing to spend $500 on that, just kick in the credit card.
Remember, Brian, he's going to get a 24, a 16 to a 50 mil, zoom lens from 3.5 to 5.6, nonetheless, with the kit lens. But
on the M50, right? Is that what you're talking about?
It's still more workable for him than.
I mean, does the G7 even shoot like at 120?
No, I don't think so. I doubt it.
Cinematic, slow-mo stuff, you can't even really do. I mean,
no, it does 120. I know because I was researching it, but it does 120 at 4K, but it doesn't do. Wait, it does 120 at 1080p, but at 4K it doesn't do. It doesn't do 120. It does 60.
I still say with the Micro 3/4 with those lens options, which I would have not thought of, which was a super great point for him to catch, Brian, is that it just doesn't make sense with that. And I think you're going to find yourself more stuck and you're going to be kicking yourself. And I know it's a little bit more money than you want to spend, like right off the bat, but I would get Canon. If you're really tight with this budget, just please try to save, and you're going to probably be happier all the way around with getting the Canon M50 Mark II.
Yeah, I'm the cheapo guy, so don't listen to me. I'll buy something at the dollar store.
Yeah,
okay?
those lenses just really aren't going to work.
John,
Stop saying Alexa.
Stop saying her
Hey,
name.
Google.
He who shall not be
Samantha
named.
from Inspirational Connection.
Well, hello.
TV. How we doing, Samantha? Thanks for checking my stream out. I appreciate that for stopping in.
And there's a great video
What the?
on the G7 that he could help. That like could help you. Because there's a guy named Epos Vox, and he used it for
Mhm.
like a lot of the years. So
Yes.
there's a video on it. So he's a experienced YouTuber. So if you watch that video, maybe that could help you.
Yeah.
just as an
And then
idea.
the question is, what lenses does he have? How much is that going to add onto the cost?
True.
Yeah. I think he's better. I mean, listen, I know this, and you guys all do too. And Brian doesn't care because he's got 14 cameras.
He can't find a 14
You
one.
don't have
I've given up on it.
right. You found the 13 now, but when you can't find something,
Dude, where's my
a
camera?
camera that works for you, and it's tight on money, you look at every possible option. And I can't find a better reason not to buy a Canon M50 at that price point, because the picture looks fantastic right out. He's learning in class how to do techniques. He's going to have that articulating screen. So if he's going up, he can turn it down. He's going down, he can toggle it up. He's going to have so much flexibility with that camera, with a great menu system to not hold him back, to be confused with anything. You know, I honestly think that he's got nowhere to go. And then look at
I'm a Sony guy, but I got to tell you, the balance for what the M50 offers, it's a balance thing, right? You're never going to get all what you want at that price point. God knows I'm looking at a 6400 and I feel let down. So, you know, but I think for the balance, yes, send that right to the house. That's pretty awesome.
So like my friend bought an M50 for like less than $500 last year during Black Friday.
right.
And we took it out on a couple of shoots, and I was really impressed with it. It's a great little camera. I don't know what you would recommend people to get. I know that when he bought it, my friend, he was using EF lenses. You need like an adapter to use EF lenses, because I would think you need to add that to the total.
Yeah.
Yeah, that adapter is $23.
So you need that $23 adapter, and I wouldn't buy any native glass for the M50. I would definitely go with EF.
Yes.
Before you drop that, before he drops that Sony 6400 for that M50, he should maybe make sure he knows what he's missing out on too, though.
There's
Make sure you have lenses.
options.
I'm just looking at Aaron.
Clint here. How you doing, Clint? How you guys doing? And oh God, I can't even pop what's on the screen. We're not popping that up, guys. So I don't think we are. By the way, another good point by Brian, and this is why I love his input. Is he's absolutely right, But here's the thing: Canon makes another good lens that is that I actually have on my Canon back here, which is a 22 millimeter, which gives you a full frame equivalent of a 35 at f.2.0, which is a fairly cheap lens that I picked up used for 175. But he can do just marvelous with the kit lens for now. But then from there, right, you got the 3 Sigma lenses that he's going to group himself into. And if he's going to use that adapter, it goes with the same case scenario for you. So you're going to have to times that EF lens, right? And EFS is a crop sensor, so he can use the EFS lenses. But if he uses any EF, he's going to go 1 times 6 with that. So, you know, and so then, you know, but so, I mean, EFS lenses, there's a million of them. So it's not like they won't be available for him to find at
You're
that.
suggesting the A5100.
No. Canon M50.
I know.
I want to say something that
Well, do
could
it.
be the deciding factor. he said that he was in India or something.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's what maybe some of the cameras that we're talking about are not in stock, and I know some people in India doesn't have the most money.
Yeah, and also, Sammy, thank you for bringing that up. One of the things, since I've got a lot of friends and employees in India right now, is that all the cameras, the Canon, the Sony, they have two different versions. They have the North America version, and then they have what they call the ISR versions, which are the international versions. So when John, you're saying the Mark II,
It's
for them, it's going to be a little bit different, and they're going to be a little bit different functions on it.
They're even named different a lot of times. So out there, I think they have like the 2000D, and it's something that you won't even have here.
Yeah.
But Eric's making a good point, and that is why also when you buy any cameras, that you get it from a authorized dealer. Don't go on Amazon and not buy from an authorized Canon dealer. Because you will not get a warranty. So
It's cheaper, man. Come on.
it depends what you want to do at that point. But and if you're always looking, another point that Eric brought up is go to the Canon website, go look for the refurbished Canons. My EOS R is a refurb from them. And they give you a year warranty out of the box, like it's brand new. And they do. I've bought. A couple friends sent them there, and they've never had a problem with their cameras. I've never had a problem. So that's one refurb company that I would trust. So that is a good point, that there's international versions or black market versions, and then there's our USA models too.
To do that, they're going to end up having to buy overseas, though. I mean, and then what does that mean for cost? I mean, I don't know, because I don't have any idea, but I'm assuming if they do that, they're going to have to purchase something from overseas most of the time. And then I don't know what that added cost is, and maybe it's negligible, and you should still get the,
I'm just saying for us, if any of us here, just keep that in mind. If you're looking, because if you think you're saving $50, but you don't have a warranty, are you saving $50? You know, then it's like something happens, you're screwed.
Yeah.
At that point, if I know I'm not getting a warranty, I'd rather shoot, down by New York and buy a used one from somebody. Because I have really good luck with buying all kinds of
trust issues. He's like, I'll buy it from
a Volvo. Hey, you want a new phone? You want a new camera?
I got a watch here too.
So Brian, you listen to this, right? I got a lead right now on 3 full systems of those Mars 300 Pros, right?
Mm-hmm.
With an A10 Mini, okay, and all the cords and everything, 7 Sony battery packs that goes along with it, and a case that it's all in for $1,000.
That seems like a pretty good deal.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
Great.
good deal.
Mine is just
if you know friends in the family, you can get it cheaper,
It was used in 3 weddings, and that would go if it was brand new, like you bought it last year at the end of the year, it would cost you with tax about $2,500 to $2,600.
Well, let me ask you guys this. I want to step in. Are we going to see some stuff hit back on the market after COVID? Are we going to start to see people who went into streaming go, this
yes,
already?
Yes.
And we're going to start seeing
so.
maybe this summer already some streaming back in where there might be some night. Yeah. Oh, night, John. I'm just curious, because that's kind of what it feels like when we.
Is anybody seeing that already? Because today I looked and I have seen 2 Roadcasters. I have seen 1 A10 Mini Pro, but remember, I live close to New York City, so there's a lot more, people buying stuff.
We're close.
Yeah, Indianapolis is not a good market for random shit, honestly.
So, John, one of the things that we're seeing right now is a lot of people. I actually saw this. I read this the other day, where a lot of people that got into streaming and got into being in front of their stuff. They're just, now that it's the summer and people are going out and things of that nature. So you're going to start seeing more eBay cameras, more exchange cameras out there in these places, and technology that they bought because they were locked in. So that is already starting to happen, and I'm actually seeing
how many 920s maybe back on the market,
Yeah.
in the next month. And I think it'll take another
Elgato
month to-
cam links too. I see a flood of those for $80.
Yeah, like I still want to buy a Elgato 4K cam link thing, and this earlier you couldn't get one. You couldn't get one, and like I got on a waiting list to get one, and like then when it came out, it was like 119. It's like I thought it was like $80. So
yeah, I bought mine for 125 on Amazon.
see,
Yeah.
I get mine at Best Buy with my points.
nice.
I got mine back in
$5,000.
2019.
See, like back in 2019 was reasonable to get one, but that's still like good, right? Like if I get that, it's still a good one to get.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Do
Okay.
it. Do it and send it to my house.
Like,
Really good.
right now, I've seen several for $80 used, and you can see they're $100 all the time. But the thing is, funny was like last month, Best Buy had them brand new for $100.
Really?
Yeah. So Best Buy has some really good deals. I mean, better than anywhere else.
eye on them.
Look for those deals here and there. Every now and then they have like certain deals. And I got my son's, LED screens last year for like a steal of a price. But most of the stuff, it's not the cheapest. But if you keep an eye out, like I got a gimbal last year for a steal of a price, but it's just.
I think it's psychological, and I think this is my take on it. I think people are going to head into June. They still have, they're still holding on a little bit to what they just went through. Maybe there's a fear of letting it go because they knew how hard it was to acquire. But as people get confident of the vaccine and not having to huddle back up, and they get into summer and they realize, I could use a couple dollars for X, Y, or Z. I think we'll start to see more in like June or July or after. That's when I think we'll start seeing most of it. I think people are still going to hold on for a little bit till they get comfortable that it's okay to let go.
Yeah.
Well, I have seen like the numbers right last year. All of us know this, right? Is like last year was the biggest year for YouTube of people coming onto the platform.
Yeah.
Right. So their revenue is through the roof this past year. Now, finally, for the first time, like the economists are talking about how much money can be generated through YouTube and the economy in general. It's something that was never talked about before. And so now it's starting to be talked about. And you're going to find a lot of people right now, they're at that point. Bye, Mom. Have a good night. Thanks for stopping in.
Nice.
I think that like now your people are at that point where they've been trying YouTube for a year or over, and they're finding out how hard it is. And they didn't put this plan together, including me. Like I didn't have this grand scheme plan put together for the first 6 months, and then when you start putting some type of plan together, that's when you realize that it's a lot of work to get to a point, and you got to know if I think Eric's chipmunk is back trying to flip his desk over.
No, Jeffrey.
No, it was
it was an earthquake, but Milwaukee did a lot of these tremors. It happens. I think there's an attrition rate that's going to be interesting to see, like what happens here. And I mean, I don't know. Let's just throw it out there. I got to believe the attrition rate for people in 12-month period of trying to do this has got to be, what do you guys think? At least 40% or more? I mean,
I would have to think even more.
I was going to say maybe it's got to be 60 to 70 is what I think. I think it's going to be more up there. And I think YouTube's going to get weird. Like for people who stick it out, I think there's something really there for them. But it's going to be a weird transition as we see people leave this thing and settle down. So this is going to be a bumpy and yet maybe really interesting ride between now and the end of the year, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
I agree.
One of the things that I read the other day was that 50% of kids coming out, the younger generation, are saying that, when they ask them what they want to do, and they want to be a content creator.
Yeah.
They want to be content creators. So the kids that are coming up are wanting to get into this. The adults that are doing this, one of the other statistics that I read was a lot of the new YouTubers are 40 plus people, you know, that they're getting into it. So there's an interesting
That is interesting. And there's another nugget to this that's not part of, because it's really hard to quantify. And that would be, yes, kids, say 50% of the kids want to come up and be content creators. And this is I'm not damnation a generation, but you got to wonder how many are going to be really committed to something as arduous and grinding as something like this when it looks so easy. Like, oh, we're just going to,
I heard that was not a true statement that they put out when they put that out about, that was out about 2 months ago. So I read that too. I read the same exact thing as he did, Eric. And then they came out the next day. Did you hear that, Sammy? Did you hear that too?
No.
Okay.
It would be a good thing. It's a supply on the system of people wanting to come in and glean information to get into it. So in a way, it would actually be a good thing for us. The question is how many of those and that number would really saturate the market.
If that was true, then also you got to know, like, people like my son, right? When he was like 5 or 6, which is, a few years ago. And then he's like, I want to start my own YouTube channel. And then we did. Right. When they get any inkling of like how much is involved with that, it's a heck of a lot more work than anything, average at that point.
It's ridiculously grinding
in
a way. And it's the commitment level to it, as we're seeing, is really something, which is why we're trying to figure out the systems and batches and processes you can create so you can maintain something like this. I don't think you could do it with a pen and paper.
Well, but of course, remember what the content type is. So a lot of the content creators want to create kind of the Twitch-like streaming content of games and things of that nature. So for that, it's super easy. I mean, even the Xbox has a stream to YouTube function directly, so getting those types of pieces in place for the new generation, that's that gaming content that's happening.
But the problem with that, Eric, is Twitch and YouTube just don't play well together as far as development, right? So YouTube being a discovery channel platform, Twitch is a smaller ecosystem of people who are dedicated and much more engaging with their people, but they do not go outside the bubble. They're a little bit more.
So I'm going to tell you this. One of the things that is happening right now is that a lot of people are abandoning Twitch.
They are.
And, one of my sons is a professional gamer. He's an MLGer. And most of the people in his game are abandoning Twitch for YouTube.
They've been doing it for 2 years.
Yeah.
Slowly doing
going on and on. And the big people who were over at Twitch, they've been trying to scream at Twitch saying, you need to put up some kind of monetization, so that we can get monetized and make more money, because it's very difficult to get noticed over there.
Correct.
And when the bigger people, after they were trying hard as hell, because a lot of people like the vibe over there, right? And they like
a better vibe for gamers over at Twitch, to be frank.
Yeah.
Right. And so they tried to explain all these things, but it didn't work out. And now when, the certain big names left, that's when everybody started leaving. But people have been leaving for 2 years.
Twitch was warned. They are so stiff, and we've refused to listen to the people that are doing the
correct
trying to help save them. It's going to be hard for I just think a lot of small gamers are going to get swallowed up in this YouTube atmosphere. It's going to be difficult. I do think you're right. I think they're eventually going to come over here, and Twitch will die unless they do some kind of last minute parachute. They've got to do something.
Yeah, right.
Are you guys worried about the older generation getting on YouTube and pushing the younger generation off to another platform, like something that's going to pop up called like NewTube or something? I mean, because that's kind of what happened with like MySpace, and then Facebook was cool, and then it's like now my parents are on Facebook. I can't be on that. I'm on Instagram. I was, oh no, I'm going to go get on that other one. But
Ryan, I talked about this last night. I'm starting the new social channel. Remember MyFace?
MyFace. Oh, I do remember MyFace. Yeah.
It's going to be
Brian, the only thing I'd say to that is the amount of money and capital taken to get a channel like this to compete, and this is what owned by who? Who is YouTube owned by? You know, you're going to compete against Google. I mean, this is going to be good luck. I mean, earlier about how powerful these companies now are, and they're dangerously powerful. And so I would not want to go up against Google and YouTube.
So here's
a monopoly
stats.
now, right? It's like YouTube's a monopoly. That's why it's not going to be like Facebook or
So here's some stats for you guys, okay? Really quick. YouTube has more than 2 billion logged in monthly users. 74% of adults in the US use YouTube. 77% of 15 to 35s use YouTube.
That's a lot.
Okay. 80% of US parents of children 11 and under say their kids watch YouTube.
That's right.
Okay. 94% of OTT watchers over the top are watching YouTube, and only 16% of YouTube site traffic comes from the US.
So
Well,
kids
let
between
me ask you this then. The thing about YouTube that's interesting when you're talking about, you can stay away and not run into the same channels your parents are on. The way you build algorithms and playlist, you're almost creating your own ecosystem of who you want to engage and discover with the way that YouTube is set up. So you're not even really running into your parents or their
right. And I can vouch for having a 9-year-old that the kids between 7 and 10 to 12, they are watching more YouTube than they are TV. And we got Sammy right here. Sammy's 17. Sammy, how many of your friends are watching YouTube versus TV in a day?
Nobody's watching TV. I haven't watched TV in many years.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You know who should be afraid? Honestly, TikTok. These shorts that YouTube is starting to push out. You wait. TikTok would be a company that I would be a little bit nervous about long term, with the way that YouTube now they're starting their beta with their shorts. But I gotta tell you, I would be a little nervous.
Yeah. I bet you anything like the American companies and the government are like, oh, good. Let YouTube dominate so we can get rid of TikTok's infiltration.
Can I say something about
Eric probably knows something about that, right?
TikTok? I know Eric knows a lot about the security, but I know a lot of people grew on TikTok. There's this guy that makes Subway sandwiches on TikTok. He's like 20 something, and he has 4 million followers on TikTok, and in 20 days, he earned 1 million subscribers.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, TikTok is a great generator. There's no doubt about it.
Yes.
But the question is, can it hold up against the weight of what YouTube in competition?
Okay.
And I think that what you're saying there's what YouTube is getting wise. This is why YouTube is brilliant and Twitch is going to die off, is that they see what they've got to do to maintain relevancy. And I think that this is going to be something that,
and if they're late to the party, it doesn't matter because they're so dominating. It doesn't matter because they're so late to the party with the TikTok and these shorts, but they're doing incredibly with them now. Go ahead, Eric.
So you want to hear this one? Okay, because I wanted to tell you. So people watched 100 billion hours of gaming on YouTube in 2020.
Right.
Okay.
And actually, you know who has a pretty good platform for gaming? Facebook.
Yeah. So the biggest names, for gaming on YouTube. Ready? Minecraft, Roblox.
Games.
Grand Theft Auto and Fortnite are the biggest games that are.
That's all kids.
Yeah.
But see, here's the thing, and that's why it's brilliant. They're going to get them young. Dr. Disrespect is a guy who drags in all sorts of ages, but he also just drug in a ton of credibility when he signed up, and he's doing fantastic on YouTube, and he's not even allowed to play with people that he used to play with. So it's a sign of what YouTube just has something going on. They get at the top that they get it right. Whether you like some of the policy or not, they're pretty sound on the business level.
The truth of the matter is, I think it's recognition and money, and you have much more of a chance, a higher percentage, right, of of making it. Maybe that's what they say versus Twitch.
I mean, it's gonna all in one app. Everybody's gonna watch.
Brian was about to explode.
YouTube TV is really one of the best packages out there now when you're talking about cutting the cord.
Yeah, I have it.
They're a little pricier, but they're better than even than Sling and all that. They're solid. They're really doing very well. You add that with their YouTube itself and shorts, and the fact you got a Google behind you.
The number of shorts are off the hook that are being watched. But I think we talked about this last night, and what's his name? Clint from Circle Hook Fishing, right? The productions that he brought up, and we all noticed this too. It's not like it's a secret. They're like, it's redistributed TikTok videos.
Yeah.
On all these shorts. I mean, like, what is it? It's got to be like 50% of them are TikTok videos.
Yeah.
And so they're being redistributed, and which is kind of weird, but I think that's part of the pain of the shorts right now, right? Because it's like, it's part of the pain because these people are trying to dominate from TikTok, come over to here, or now they're doing the reactions to TikTok, which they're allowed to do. And that is getting them noticed. And it's, you know, I think it's all kind of weird. And we were talking about the shorts and how that affects people. And I think that's going to be a whole weird situation for the next few months to come, you know?
I think. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I thought TikTok was cool because you can like rip off music and you don't have to worry about paying the artists.
It's like the new Napster.
Yeah.
Well, you know, the thing I'm a bad dad. I told my kids they if I saw TikTok in this house, they would be fired. I do not allow anybody on that platform.
It's not a great platform to really, if you're being honest about it. It's okay if you want to make some money, but again, there's this myth that everybody's just making money on TikTok. There are people who are going to make money on TikTok. And I guarantee the biggest people on TikTok are going to come over to YouTube when that short stuff gets flushed out because there's bigger money that they can make on YouTube.
I don't think Eric's talking about that. I think he's talking.
I wasn't talking. I was talking to
I know you're talking
security.
Security problem.
I know you're talking
Yeah.
security, but I'm just saying that in general, I mean, security is a given. I mean,
Security is bad, and the ownership of that company, I'm not going to say out loud, but it's not a country that's, you know.
Yeah, but it's not that. It's also most of the parents, they don't do the right thing to make sure. I mean, there's just too many openings in that for a child to have that on their phone, I believe.
Yeah.
I mean,
For me is a security, because all the information does not lay within the US.
Yeah.
So when you do a registration to that site, all your information ends up in country in Asia.
so if we think we have internal threats, you can imagine what we've got going on.
Right.
There's external threats too. Man, what am I gonna do?
No, man, I don't tell you.
Also, we got to remember, it was only last year, and I don't know if you guys know this, but early last year, where they started incorporating all the new rules and regulations for kids under 13 on Facebook.
COPA has been around for a long time.
Yeah, but it's never been on here.
Yes.
It was only reinforced last year. They brought it to a whole new level. They were behind by years.
Yeah,
all the
because they weren't enforcing it within YouTube.
Yeah, they got sued. So they went and changed all their new rules and regulations. So now, like, that's why I feel good about my son having it. First, you got to go through my email, right, to be able to start a new channel for my son. Everything that goes through to him would have to go through me first. So all the emails, everything goes through me. He can't get to it. And he can only get to it is if I give him the password, and which I don't have to do. So that just, and the comments for a under 13-year-old are all turned off. So there's no commenting.
Yeah.
There's no,
and all that stuff.
there's no chat. There's no nothing. So it really separates the ability for someone to get in touch with your child under a certain age. But you can also do some type of sharing methods too. And that's where I think as a parent that you still need to be in full control of everything, because if you're in the videos with your kids, they can't stream alone also if they're under that age bracket. Okay. So, but if you stream with them, they can. But if they stream alone, which I made the mistake of not knowing all the rules. I let him stream by himself. They took that away totally. So now he has no streaming capability either. So they're doing the right thing and being strict. And I know a lot of people got upset by it, but in truth, it's a good thing for kids under 13. So
I think the people who got upset are the people that make content aimed for children, because now they can't monetize it at all, right? So, or like, even if you make something like I have that stupid cartoon monster, I'm a little afraid to even bring it on my channel, because if I do, does it look like I'm pandering to children? I mean,
Yes.
and then who decides that? Like, I mean, do I need them to drop the F-bomb every 5 seconds just to make sure, like, this is for adults only, kids, do not watch?
Yeah,
So,
but
I mean, what do you do?
I mean, Eric knows this, and me is when you make a video, you have to click on if this material's for kids.
Right. But if you look at the fine print, it says, or if we decide that your content is for children. So it's not just if you click the button.
So that's like a cartoon selling cigarettes, is what you're saying.
Right. Yeah. So I mean,
and your little red monster, man, I've
seen enough. I don't believe you.
It's so close.
I think they have to leave themselves that opening to say, yeah, it's a cartoon character, but dude, you are clearly going after children to bring them in and do whatever.
Some candy, kids?
Yeah.
Cover their butts, though, right? I mean, they have to
leave it open. But Eric, do you think? I mean, I think maybe like, do you feel there's actual reason to believe that there is data hoarding going on in another country through TikTok that might be just a bomb waiting to happen? Do you feel like that, or do you just feel like it's more of a moving rogue problem that could just, you should just watch out for? Like, how deep do you think that could go?
Do I need to put my phone in the microwave?
I can't answer that directly, but I am just gonna go and look like this.
Okay.
And second, I'm gonna say it's already happened. It's already happening, and it's already out there, and we know of it happening. So
fair enough.
that is one thing. My kids. Again, John. You've got the younger kids, but when you get to that 13, 12 years old, they can easily open an email and fake their age, you can go to Google and do that and get their stuff. So it's good that you're doing the monitoring stuff like that, but it gets to a point where, yes, it happens more often. And yes, there are a lot of predators within all these social media platforms. And we work very hard for, in the different groups that I'm in to try to, weed those out. But stuff like comments, all these different things, go to my channel, contact me here, all that stuff, that happens on a daily basis and in an alarming rate. And then Jeff, within the TikTok platform, yes, they were sued. The government tried to get them off of the United States. I know India did successfully get them off of their country. And you can look at that. They took 23, I think it was 23 or 30 different apps this last year that they do not allow in their country. And we tried to do that.
I'm a little bit worried for a lot of these teenagers as they move forward, and this information is just being hoarded potentially. In some.
We got teenagers right here, and we should ask them.
Well,
and plus,
he went away to try to delete his TikTok.
He's on
or create one.
So we got to wait till. This is why I told Eric we got to wait till Sammy's 18 so we can go to lunch one day and we can talk about content creation.
Yeah, you don't want to be like, hey, you want to meet me at the ice cream shop? And
yeah,
Sammy.
Hey, Sammy.
When are you going to be 18, Sammy?
November 11th.
No, okay. So that's when we hit November 11th. We're going to have we'll have to get some content creators to come up in the fall, and we're gonna rake leaves with the M1 in your lawn.
Yeah, we'll dance around and behind you. We'll do like a little conga dancing behind you while you're doing some M1 testing in the grass and the.
We'll be in the M2 by then, right?
Yeah,
Hopefully.
That's the Pro, right? That will be out soon, I think. Whatever.
Yeah, Moore's law says every 18 months technology takes us the hop. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Sammy, I like a lot of the new material you've been putting out, and you've been streaming more often. And how you enjoying being like more active in general?
No, I have been always active.
Yeah, but this much,
Oh yeah.
I feel like you're doing more.
No.
Really? Maybe I missed it.
Hey Sammy, I like your new material.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I have been. I've been doing a little bit more, but I've been always streaming. So
Well, I know that. Yeah, absolutely. And then you had I watched Daniel Battelle, which was great.
Yeah.
He's a good character, man. I really like him.
yes, Daniels.
And not only did you point out he's got the best chair, which I might have to agree with you as a YouTuber,
Yes.
but he's got a great personality. He's a good guy too. And Nick and D also, same thing. Great
Yes.
guys. So that's very impressive. Those are top-notch people you got right there. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So I enjoy
Very
watching that.
Now,
very
did
much
you
so.
see the interview with Renee Ritchie?
I didn't see that one yet.
I
didn't.
did.
Apple.
I saw it. Not the actress.
No.
Renee Ritchie,
I know what you mean.
I didn't see that.
the famous Apple guru.
The guru, yes.
Yes.
I see him all the time on live streaming pros.
You know that he knows. He has met Tim Cook. There's a photo of him and Tim Cook.
Yeah.
Tim Cook?
That's the CEO, running CEO of Apple, right?
Apple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The least you can do is take a picture with me. I'm out there pimping your products every 3 seconds. Take a photo with me, pretend you're my friend. No, that's cool, man. I think that's really great. Yeah.
Are you getting free hats from Ecamm? Is this what you're doing nowadays?
I hope you're not buying them. You support them enough.
He does
No,
support.
I want a giveaway. That's the
Oh,
crazy
God.
thing. But the other day I figured out that Ecamm's somehow is subscribed to me.
Oh, wow.
So Doc Rock is like, do you know who Doc Rock is?
Yeah, he works for Ecamm
Yes.
and he streams.
So-
He's from Hawaii.
Yeah. So the funniest thing is he was doing a tutorial and a screen share on a live stream.
Okay.
And for a second, he showed YouTube and it said subscription box and it said Sammy Superstar.
Ah,
Oh,
so
interesting.
they're
I
watching
was
you,
like-
Sammy.
What are the odds of you being seen on any stream in the chat? Or anywhere? You're everywhere, man. Of course, someone's going to pick you up in a screenshot. I mean, I'm surprised you're not in every crime scene. You're everywhere.
Everywhere. He's definitely super active on all the streams. And
I mean that in a good way. I mean, it's super to see you so invested. But
Yeah.
I feel like you got the knife and you're like, I'm killing everybody.
all right, so what are we at here? What time is it? I think we're over 2 hours.
You're at 2 hours and 16
yes.
minutes, my
Yeah.
friend.
I think
did it.
I think we did enough, right?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
some
we
damage.
did.
Listen to Sammy. Sammy always keeps track of them for us, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. He's like, you're at 2:16:48. He's
Then he comes back like 2 minutes later. John, you're at 51 now. It's 51.
yeah, he's
Not
pointing.
this-
He's got
Basically
the
telling us like,
to
get
watch.
the hell off. I think he's like, get the off.
Everybody.
Oh, you weren't quick enough when I almost said it.
I know. I got to get over there and just be like,
You got to have your own kill button, So, well, I appreciate it. You guys were great, Brian. Boy,
Oh,
bring
before we
bring
go, because
hammer stuff in, and Eric, you're always just. I mean, we should be paying Eric for the amount of.
Oh, yeah.
No.
I agree.
we got
Eric should be getting money.
YouTube, brother.
You.
You be
So
quiet.
This is the third new person, new face that I've seen tonight. Hello, thanks for stopping in our stream and saying hi. We're actually just getting caught on the last couple minutes of our stream, but we stream on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And I surprisingly, we got 3 new people just stopping in, Jeff, like out of the blue.
I know, I saw that.
Which is unusual because that's a lot of people really in one night.
Yeah.
So, and wait a second, are you kidding me? Who is this? Who are these really people? Who is this?
Are they really?
Yeah, that is.
Why do you guys? Well, we got like people. We must have like a bunch of people just watching from all
Well,
over.
I have no idea why we're laughing. It's just
You know, the funny part is that the algorithm might be picking you up, man.
You got-
This is
Yeah,
I
very
think
good.
it is. I think you're cracking the Da Vinci Code, man.
Yeah, man.
We're just gonna keep
You
on
cracked the
streaming.
video
We're gonna
resolve.
forget the videos. We're not doing videos anymore. We're just going to stream all the time.
Well, we enjoy streaming. I gotta be honest with you. I don't know about you guys, but I learned a ton tonight being a part of this stream, which is something that we've been noticing. Like you just learn so much by doing, and I think having people on that are so really into a specific skill too, they're so good at it. Sometimes you just need that. Sometimes it's nice to have macro stuff, but I mean,
There you go, watching from Texas. Well, thank you
There
so
you go.
much, NBA.
oh, that's just
Thank you.
Longhorns.
I appreciate that. Yeah, go Longhorns. And we got looks like if I mess this up, I apologize.
Good
Ran
luck.
high. Yeah.
No, it's Ranju Sina.
Thank you.
You definitely sound much better when you say that.
Yeah, Ranju
But
Sina.
What if
If-
TikTok is stealing the data and we're pushing over into different areas through our newfound matrix?
right.
That's right.
And then you got time. It's time for continuous conversation because he's
Oh
open.
yeah, man, get some
He's got-
rest.
I totally love feel better from your vaccine, and I totally love
Yeah.
watching your new stuff. So when your new video comes out, we'll be watching for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Thanks for stopping in and saying hi. We always love having you. And
Hope
maybe
you
next
feel
time you jump on here, hit the StreamYard link. We'd love to have you jump on and join us.
It's really fun actually being in the stream. Like I've been watching you guys for a while, and then like now I'm in it, and it's just so cool. I'm geeking out. I'm like a fanboy.
You know what though?
Well,
I was
John, I got to say this, but
ahead.
Brian, you are one of our idols. Okay, so you know all the things that you know. You know. I know John's always doing praise on me for my security, but Brian, you are the cinematographer. You are, and I can't. English is my second language. Cinematographer, and you know the expert in some of these things. And every time you speak, I am taking notes here. So thank you very much for being here, man.
And
I
what's
really
great
appreciate
about-
that.
What's great about Brian, if you really want the upfront information, I just love the way you present it. You know, there's people who speak about those things, man. You're just like, okay, but you do like it so much. You do enjoy what you do, and you enjoy. I think you really do enjoy passing the information, and I feel that. And I think there's just, I don't know, that's not something that should be lost in all this. Is
Yeah.
you need to get out there. and
So,
present it.
Brian, which card should I use for my white balance?
Neither one. Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
I agree with these guys, and Jeff has told me about how much you know already too, Brian, and having you come on. And I don't like, I know I sound like sometimes like I know a lot, but it's like really this much, you know what I mean? And it's really specific towards some things. But I am kind of like a sponge with certain things. So when it comes to like certain category, it's kind of surprising how much I can retain. But like little things that you came in and said, and that I would totally like. He was like, John, I gotta go. I'm
still here. I'm still here. You just can't see me. I'm a ghost
My
now.
contract ran out at 2 hours and 20, so I'm out of here. Yeah.
So kids never buy secondhand batteries ever. Oh, wait, there goes Eric too.
John,
Nice.
you're boring me to death. I've had enough, and I
Oh my gosh.
take it. Where's everybody going? Everybody.
Oh,
We're mysteries.
we've exhausted my battery, and it's
had to go because you. Oh, here's Jeff back. I don't know.
I
It's
can't
like
get back. There I am. There I am.
Jeff followed suit.
That was for comic relief, right, Jeff? Or did something happen to you too?
Scott, did you guys know you can create a pop-up window in here?
Where?
If you hover over your backstage, there's a little window. I popped it up and it gives me a preview screen beyond being on there. I didn't know that.
Yeah, but what are you previewing?
Myself.
Right.
Where is that?
But I'm
I
just
don't see
saying,
that.
if you hover over,
I
your
like
there's a
I
little
like
pop-up.
seeing myself.
Well,
Oh,
it's a vanity thing, and I'm as big as John right now, so this is cool on my own screen.
That's
Oh,
pretty big.
Nice.
If you're as big as me, you'll be able to
I'm
fit
putting
3 pairs of
myself-
pants on a draw.
I'm putting myself over him in my StreamYard, so now I'm way over the top of him with my window.
All right, guys. Well, I think we can wrap this up tonight, and I really loved all you guys coming on. And
That was
you
awesome.
know, maybe this is something we'll do a little bit more often because this is all kind of like new to us. And I was not wanting to have anything too serious, and I had a great time last night on Ash's stream, and it was fun. And we really didn't think we were going to have like this big topic. And Jeff and I talk about this sometimes. Like sometimes we overthink things, and then we just like come in here and like I agree with Jeff said is like we learned so much stuff tonight about just talking about so many various topics that we were just running into. So it was not even hard to make that happen. So I love that.
It's not supposed to be about being a guru and we're talking to people. It's really this whole exercise is really about, we have some information we're directing, but the chat between the chat and other people or the guest or whatever's in there, everybody's pulling them along with learning something at the same time. I think that's where the joy is.
Yeah. And we have fun. I mean, like people are just saying, why are you guys laughing? They must go by, they're flipping through and they see us laughing. They're like, I got to check this out. And what's better than that, right, Sammy? I mean, we have people that see us laughing and they're like, we got to check these guys out. So remember, once again, I always like to remind everybody that after the stream, go and put a comment in down below. And if you ever want to find each other's channels, because there's a lot of information here with people, then I would consider doing that. And let us hang out again and meet each other. And I hope everybody joins our stream. So I want to say thank you, like always, because Jeff and I have been streaming together, and it's been fantastic doing this with Jeff. And I want to thank Eric for filling us in on a lot of stuff. And plus, Eric just gets into the conversation no matter what it is, and we have a blast. And Sammy, it was great having Sammy here. And if you could check out Sammy, his channel is got a lot of great content with some important people that you may want to follow also that on YouTube. And he does some really cool streams too. And I think we're all going to be hanging out a little bit more and more, I think, right? So
And if you like cell phone videos of orangutans, come check out my YouTube page.
Okay, and I've got to, and if you could please pull up Danielle Ryan's message there.
Oh, you had to go and do that, right? Which one? This one right here?
Microwave.
So please, do not put your stuff in microwaves, please.
Don't cook them. You put it in there because the reception. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Danielle Ryan.
And,
The voice of
guys,
reason.
like usual, I think we had a blast, and we have a fun time, and we got to do more stuff like this. So this is great. So Brian, let's get Brian on.
Hey, okay, yeah, look, you can see my logo that I did on Canva. Nice.
Your white
do you do
balance
that?
is a little off, but I feel like
See, I'm all into being moody, so it's all black and white for me now. I'm the Snyder of the group, so doing black and white, 4x3.
oh God, you're hilarious. So, all right, guys, I'm going to end the stream once again. Thank you, everybody, for coming in and joining and giving some positive feedback. Thank you for the new subscribers. I really want to thank NBA Josh 22, and then I had another guy come in here too, and he subscribed also. So really appreciate that. I hope you can check out some of my videos and our future live streams, and check out the links that are also in my description, and it talks about StreamYard, and that's what we're using right now to bring up the comments. And you can get a good deal for yourself and for me. So take
There's
a look
a
at
microwave.
and buy me a
Microwave
coffee
in
is a little bit something that you can give back if you found any good information also.
Sorry.
And here's Sammy. Sammy is that's the oh, he put a microwave up.
Oh,
I love it, Sammy. That was great.
Raven.
You put a microwave up. That's gonna be
how did you do that so fast? And like, do you just happen to have Canva? You can get anything on Canva. Yeah.
Canva Pro.
I'm gonna have to go and get Coffee Talking Tech with a microwave underneath for my t-shirts now.
I would buy you that T-shirt with just a microwave and a phone in it. I'll buy that, John.
Right? I have to put like
Nobody will get it.
I'm as hot. I'm as cool as a microwave on high. Coffee Talking Tech.
It's a stretch.
But
Nice.
sorry.
You
All right,
tried.
guys. Good night. Thanks for all coming by and watching. I love having a good time with everybody, and we'll catch you next week. And don't forget, Tuesday nights on Jeff's channel. Okay, we do a live stream at 9:00. Go check out Jeff's channel. I actually forgot to put a link in. I'll put it in afterwards down below. I will tag it because I didn't think I was doing this. And then Thursdays we come back on here and we do a live stream here. So have a good night, everybody. Take care. Say bye, guys.
Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Have a good
Late.
night. See you, Sammy.
Take care.
Thank you, John.